Hi, I'm the MK500. You may know me from my map, Skyblock Ultima, or at least I hope you do, because I hope it was successful. And if you don't know me from it, then you should go try it out, because I think you'd like it. It explores concepts that have, I think, never been explored before in Minecraft. I don't know, it's pretty cool. Today is October 5th of 2020. I like saying the date at the beginning of all my videos because I think it puts them in a nice chronological. I think it chronologizes them pretty well, and I know that's not a word at all, but you know what I mean. And that's the same reason that I'm going to number my videos, because I've always wanted there to be a quick and easy way to just go to a YouTuber's channel that you liked and just watch literally every single one of their videos. Just binge watch all of them from beginning to end. And I know you can go to the videos tab and scroll down and start opening them in new tabs, but I don't know, I've never really liked that, so I'm just going to number all my videos. I think everyone should number their videos. I think it's going to be nice. Also, I always have F3 and hitboxes on. Also, I always play in 1.8. Yeah, I do a couple of weird things. I play in 1.8 because 1.9 is the absolute scum of the universe and the worst update ever. And also, I just have F3 and hitboxes all the time because, trust me, it can give you some pretty great advantages. There's some stuff here that gives you some knowledge that you are normally not supposed to have. For example, the amount of your coordinates are the biggest one, but then the amount of entities that are being rendered within your range is honestly much more helpful than you think it is. Another thing, you see a lot of iron blocks over here. Just for the record, iron blocks represent any solid blocks, although most of the time the iron blocks don't need to be solid. So really they just represent cobblestone. I've just always used iron blocks as the blocks in Redstone because ever since I started playing this game like 11 years ago, I'm pretty sure, I was just like, oh, redstone, electricity, iron conducts electricity, I'm gonna put them together, oh yeah. So yeah, I've just always used iron blocks as my personal redstone block of choice. Also, you were hearing the music earlier, and that's because I think that music should be kept in Minecraft videos. In my opinion, there's nothing wrong with the music in this game. And I think it's too bad that YouTubers make sure it's not in their videos and turn their music down to nothing and then put their own music over it. I think the music's great, and I'm going to keep it. And I promise I'm not being lazy. I'm not. I actually think it's pretty solid music. I also don't script my videos. That's why this video is going to be an absolute nightmare. But I think it's going to be much better than if it was scripted. Because think about it like this. You go to YouTube to watch videos, not to read books. Reading books is lame. You should never read books. I'm kidding. You should read books. But videos are better. Videos are better than books. Everyone but your parents agrees with that. I came to see a video. A YouTube video is the perfect in-between. It is its own type of media. It's kind of like live streaming, but if anything bad happens, you can just cut it out, especially if you forget what to say for a really long amount of time and then cut back to it. And that's gonna happen a lot in this video, probably. So if you ever see any major jump cut, it's just me completely losing it. My brain turns off and I just absolutely forget what I say. Either way, I should get to the video now because otherwise it's like, obviously the video has to start someday. Either way, this is obviously not the 3D printer. Look, you know this isn't a 3D printer, brother. This is so easy to understand. This is what I call the 3-color printer, and this is something that you actually might build in survival mode one day, conceivably, because most things, everything else in this video, you're not gonna be building it in survival, chief, let me tell you that much. But this, you could really conceivably make this in survival world, and it would be a kind of cool bougie addition to your base. So let's just go over how this works real fast. These blocks are, no, another trick. There's actually a cool trick I want to show you. This is a big reason that I have F3 on. This is a great useful thing. It's the direction. You can always tell the direction. North, east, south, and west. The red L's are north and south. The blue L's are east and west. If you have the normal red L, you know it's north, but backwards it's the other direction. So, the backwards L is going to be south, and the backwards blue L is going to be west, see? And then you're looking up and down just because, well, first of all, if you don't, you got a problem that you need sorted out, because it's pretty clear when you're looking up or down, but it's because you don't see the green line anymore. So, yeah, that's another thing. Either way, this is going to get pushed forward by this piston. It's going to get pushed from these pistons over. This is going to be the color selection. Which one of the three colors gets pushed by these pistons? Sand, red sand, or gravel? Because that's all I could do, because those were the only ones affected by gravity, other than Dragon Egg and Anvil, which have their own special problems that make this pretty much impossible. Pretty much impossible to do with those. But as you can see, this printer just pushes over to there, this printer pushes there, and this oh my goodness. This piston, did I say printer? This piston pushes the sand to the right, gravel left, and red sand forward. And then it goes over to this piston, which pushes it this way. After this area is filled up with blocks, it's going to trigger this basic block update detector. You probably just know what this is by looking at it, which is going to instantly power all of these pistons, and it's going to shove the blocks forward over to here until the full print is uncovered. And voila, it's beautiful. The printing matrix shall be filled, and it's going to be great. I had to perfectly time all this area and all of these pistons. I had to time them in conjunction with the hoppers over here. Of course, I'm going to have to show you how this works now. So all this redstone is coming from this item sorter. This is a very, very basic item sorter. If you don't know how this works, well, you have some fun content to watch. Just look up item sorter Minecraft, and it's pretty cool. When I first found out the item sorter, I was like, wow, that's awesome. Now it's pretty simple, but originally this was pretty awesome to me. So you put the stuff's in the chest. Oh, you're gonna see why that's happening. You're gonna see why that's happening pretty soon. Let me actually log out and log back in so that stops happening. But this is our fun guy who is going to be printed out, not to be confused with a mushroom. He's just one real fun dude. That is going to be taken from this hopper, pushed here, but, yep, I should totally log out and log back in. Let me do that real fast. Oh, brother, please. Yes, it is fixed. Oh, man. You aren't even prepared to see why that was happening. Okay. Either way, that's going to get pulled from that hopper. However, see there's sand in this hopper, red sand and gravel. That is going to pull it down into there because pulling takes priority over pushing into the next hopper. And then it is going to increase the power on these comparators, which is going to in turn trigger both this and then this repeater going back here, which is going to turn off this redstone torch, which is going to turn on these hoppers, and these hoppers are going to take it out of there. And then you just get to take it out of these hoppers and then put it back into here. And then it's perfect, and everyone wins, and everything works. That's pretty much the entire this 3-color printer explanation, except for, of course, this right here. This is a basic clock. Looking at it, you might not know how it works because it looks really, really weird, but this repeater goes into here and powers it. That, in turn, unpowers this redstone torch, which turns this off, which turns the repeater off. And then the repeater unpowers this, and then the torch turns on, and then this turns on, and then it goes in circles, forever and ever. It goes on mode, and then off mode, then on mode, and then off mode. It keeps changing the state of the other bit, but in the end, they just go round and round, never really accomplishing anything by just changing it in a way where it's going to be changed back very quickly after. It kind of reminds me of the political system in this country. Anyway, this is the printing lever. This kind of just sits here waiting to be turned off, because then when this is turned off, the clock's going to run, because obviously this redstone has nothing else turning it on. That's why the clock is stopped. This redstone is powering this hopper underneath this part of the double chest, which is stopping the items from flowing out. But the moment I pull this thing, it's all gonna, kersplooge out of there into this hopper system and the item sorter, and then it's going to print. So might as well just show the 3-color printer printing, because showing every other printer print is going to be much, much, much harder, and you'll see why. This is our fun little boyo over here. Of course, he has those 2 dot eyes, the big smile, very wide nose. I don't know why I decided to give him this big wide nose. I just kind of felt like it. I used the sand for the skin color because I thought it was the closest we were going to get, unless you're making like literally Donald Trump or just the dirtiest, grimiest boy you've ever seen. So I think sand was the easy pick right there. And then the choice was obvious. I had to use the red for everything, and then the gravel for the fun hair, because you got those nice brows, those nice smooth brows, and then that legendary stash. Ho! It kind of just looks like a pyramid with a bunch of random crap around it. But I'm not an artist, so you could do better. This is fun. Long story short, you could get some fun stuff out of this printer. Like this 3-color printer, I'm pretty happy with it. It's probably the most useful invention in this video, which is seriously ironic because I think I built this in 1 hour, and that's really just nothing compared to the total amount of time I spent in this world, which is way, way, way too long. But we're gonna print out our fun boy with the cool, epic mustache. Yes, it is time. Every time I turn this on, it fills me with so much dread. There are so many times I turned this on and I thought, not this specifically, but the other printers. Every time I see any printer print in Minecraft, I just get like Vietnam flashbacks of it not working, and then me having to spend hours upon hours fixing a problem I didn't even know was possible to exist in the video game. But either way, I think it's pretty fun watching this thing print. So you can see stuff's going out of there, going into there. It's a very elegant design, it's very efficient, it's very small and tidy. The cartridges go up to the build limit, and they have no reason to be any bigger than they are. The refill system is pretty easy in this one, when it has to be much more complicated in the other printers. So all in all, I think this is the most useful invention you're going to find in this video, which is very, very, very sad. But either way, I think that's enough for the 3-color printer. It's pretty simple, pretty basic. It's pretty fun and useful. But now, it's time for the 2D printer. Oh, load please. Oh yeah. Oh baby. It's time. Oh yeah. Oh. Aha. So, as you can see, as I'm flying towards this thing, it is quite a bit bigger. It is quite a bit bigger. These cartridges also go all the way up to the build limit. Wow, that is a whole lot of redstone, isn't it? Okay. Oh man, my goodness. Well, time to show you how this one works. So let's start from the end and go to the beginning. I find that the easiest to do. So first of all, and the biggest change, this printing matrix is now this is a printing matrix fit for a king right here. That tiny baby normie trash over there, 6x9, more like 12x12. It did cause this cancer to exist, which is really too bad. This was just all I see when I look at this is the time it spent to create it. Either way. It's pretty cool, pretty big. It's only 12x12 because pistons can't push any more than that, so this is the biggest it could be, unless you like stitched 4 of these together like a crazy person, like a Frankenstein's monster, and then just kind of made it work somehow. I don't know. It really might be impossible to get a 24 by 24. But either way, it's pretty solid. You can make some pretty okay art with this, which you will see when I print it. Not gonna print it for a while though. That's gonna be a little bit later in the video. And once again, you shall understand, my friend. So where does that come from? Where does the stuff that goes into here come from? Well, it's pretty basic. It's pretty simple. It comes from the V engine. I call this a V engine, even though it's not like a car engine that's already named for something. It does come from this V-shaped area of pistons that push. And if you're smart, you can see by the 3 delays, this is running on a 6 clock. Everything happens on a 6-tick clock, or 0.6 seconds. It takes 0.6 seconds for each piece of wool to be shoved right on through here. So that's going to come from here. But then where does the stuff here come from? Well, you see it comes from these cartridges, but how does it come from these cartridges? Well, when you turn on the printing mode for this printer, all of these little areas, when you turn on the main clock, the heart clock of the printer, which is currently off because it's broken. It's just kind of broken. It might as well be, because otherwise it would cause a ton of lag. That's why I'm going to be printing this a little bit later. But this heart clock, it did the glitch. Even though this is all within one chunk, you can see by using my F3, that's why I always have it on. Even though it takes up a bit of the screen, I think it's 1,000,000% worth it. And I really hope all your comments aren't, oh my goodness, please turn off the F3, because that totally could be just every single comment on this video. But this is broken because of the chunk glitch. If you unload and reload a chunk with a redstone clock in it enough times, the redstone clock is most likely going to look like this by the time you're done with it. Either way, let's scoot right back over here. I'm going to have to enter spectator mode a little bit later, but I think I can stay in creative now. I prefer creative because I can exercise my nervous clicking habit. So how these cartridges work. These cartridges... oh my goodness, I'm just having aneurysms. Multiple aneurysms in this video. Multiple strokes where I just cannot talk right. Either way, these cartridges are actually a huge advancement in redstone technology, because they kind of feel like they should be impossible. As you can see, this cartridge goes up to the... well, I'm going to save this cancer for later, because that's also just very big and complicated and hurts to think about. But what's happening is this printer, this... oh, give me a sec, I'm sorry. This is awful. This piston right here, when it's activated by this kind of spider web of pain in the middle and delays, is going to push this block up, leaving a hole here. The clock will then push this piston, refilling this hole so this can be pushed up again 0.6 seconds later. But then in doing that, redstone will also go up here. Ooh, excuse me. It's going to be pushed down by this piston, then pushed left by this piston. Then the hole is going to be pushed down by this piston, leaving a hole up there in the block that is right here. And then that's going to be pushed to the right by this piston, which is going to move the hole above this piston. And then that's going to be pushed down, pushed left, pushed down, pushed right, pushed down, pushed left. And then you might be thinking, Liam, you absolute moron. What happens when this hole just gets all the way to the top? Eventually, how this inevitably ends, Liam, is a post-apocalyptic scenario. Oh my goodness, Cloud, please. Where this and this are both a hole, and then there's also a little bit of hole down here. You know, and then all this is still there. This is the only way this ends, you moron. And to that, I tell you, sand. The power of sand. You're gonna like this one. So let's go all the way up to the top right here. Don't pretend this music doesn't make the video better. Let's go all the way up to the top right here. And as you can see, there is sand. So my thinking is, and what actually happens, it's literally just what happens. This piston then pushes to the left, and the hole is filled by the sand that falls by itself. And then this is pushed down, and the sand is pushed here. And then by the time all this is pushed down by the sand falls automatically. So this can just keep pushing sand to the right, and the sand will keep filling the hole that was left by the black wool being gone. and then the entire cartridge will empty without anything horrible happening, and you're able to save a ton of pistons. Oh, right. Oh no. I forgot to tell you. So, I have some severe mental illness that made me think it was a good idea to take the 2D printer and the 3-color printer, I guess, and the 3D printer and make them literally perfectly redstone efficient. These printers they save as much redstone as possible. This whole area, I never let a single piece of redstone dust go to waste throughout this whole process, and it made it take at least twice as long. I don't know why I felt the need to do this, because originally I was planning for this stuff to be built in survival, but that was before it was, Empire State Building levels of huge, and it's just no one's gonna make this in survival, man. It was just an absolute lost cause. Either way, that's how those work. I think the cartridges are pretty cool. You're gonna have to get the world download in the description though if you want to really look into this and start to understand all of it, because as you can see, there's just so much redstone. There's too much to really fully go over in a whole video. I invented so many smaller inventions. Oh, like this adapter. Ooh, you're gonna like this one. So, I used to have a really horrible, awful, cancerous problem. And this problem was, I was losing a bunch of redstone I could have saved, because these repeaters all had to be they had to be this. They could not be this, they had to be this. And let me tell you why. Because this repeater does not understand the concept of a 6-tick clock. And if you power it with a 6-tick clock, if you just try to print an entire thing of just black wool, then that's not a good example. If you just try to print a whole thing of just green wool, what's going to happen? It's just going to be constantly turned on. And if you try to print an entire matrix full of green wool, what's going to happen is you're only going to get one, because this redstone is just going to stay on forever. That is when I came up with the genius idea of the adapter. The redstone adapter. This takes being constantly powered and turns it into a perfectly timed 6-tick clock. It's just a 6-tick clock on the go for those redstoners on the go. Very small, very tiny sized, and it takes just a constant signal, which will be coming from that redstone line over here, and it turns it into just an activation once every 0.6 seconds, and then the city, Gotham City, is safe, and it's all gonna print normally, and it's just gonna be great. By the way, just a side note, this doesn't have to be wool. I used wool just because I like the old classic blocks in this game. I mean, as you can see, because I play flipping 1.8, I like the kind of earlier things in Minecraft, the before the clay. I just prefer this to the clay. It gives much more of a paintbrush feel, and I think it just suits the printer a whole lot better. Man, I really do prefer the wool. But you can put clay here. You can put diorite, and then bookshelves, and then I was gonna say furnaces. I don't know, crafting tables. You can really just stick whatever the hell you want in here. You could actually expand this conceivably more and get many more blocks, like every single normal block in the game like this. You can put pretty much anything here except stuff like leaves, because that's gonna break, and like I mean TNT I guess would just not work. That is not the idea you're gonna want to use, friend. Please do not try and put TNT in one of these if you build this in survival, because the whole thing is going to blow up to smithereens. You would have to be a crazy person if you thought it was a good idea to bring TNT anywhere near any one of these printers, especially because it's so complex. Well, except that one. That printer over there, you can fix that pretty quickly. But if a TNT block detonates here, it's going to be hours of your time. It's going to be hours of your time. Either way, oh, this is cool. You're going to love this. So the next step in this process, going from the end to the beginning, because once again, I just feel like that makes it a little bit more simple, because you understand the reason every single thing is there. It's like simplifying math problems. It's like algebra, It's kind of like solving the mazes. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? This is this my least favorite glitch in Minecraft? Yes. Yes, this is my least favorite glitch in Minecraft. This is absolutely awful and horrible. This little hopper area right here. So let me let you in on a little bit of cancer. Every time you print something with this and then you go away somewhere doing your Minecraft survival things in your vanilla survival world, because this thing goes in there. Let's go, baby. Anytime you're doing that and you unload the chunks with these hoppers in them, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to go back here, break all of these hoppers and these 3 pieces of redstone dust, and then place them back one by one. Specifically, this one first, then this one, then this one, then this one, all the way back. Replace these back to here. Now let me tell you why this happens, because there are two types of hoppers in Minecraft. There are carrier hoppers and there are builder hoppers. Now let me tell you what these hoppers do. If a hopper is being a very good boy today and it wants to be a carrier hopper, this is what's going to happen. There's going to be a bunch of black wool coming through here, coming on down. Oh, by the way, the reason you don't have to do this with these hoppers is because these hoppers are on a clock where they're unactivated then reactivated very quickly. So most hoppers, this glitch just isn't going to affect at all. It's only when you're deactivating hoppers and then reactivating them very quickly. That's when this glitch ruins your life. Either way, let's say this hopper wants to be a carrier. Black wool comes in from this hopper, cool. And then the next time these are unactivated, this hopper is going to put the black wool in there and then receive it from there. It's just going to be beautiful and glorious. But then let's say this hopper wants to be a nasty, disgusting, greedy little builder. This hopper is going to build up blocks. What's going to happen is then on the next time, on the next 0.6 seconds, 6 tick cycle, this hopper is going to give black wool to this hopper. And this hopper is going to say, I'm just not feeling it today. And it's just going to sit there with its black wool and just not put it in this hopper. And what's going to happen is this hopper is going to have like a stack of black wool, a bunch of the other colors of wool, and it's just going to sit there with all this wool. Because every time it receives a wool, it's just not willing to give a wool. Like, I think receiving things would make you more likely to be generous, but it's just not true. And then this only starts emptying out when stuff stops being poured into it. And it is the worst. But it turns out what's hilarious is, so if you just load these chunks randomly, about half of these hoppers are going to be builders and half of them are going to be carriers. And this is determined by some weird hash map in Minecraft. It's really complicated, but it's not actually random. Whatever, it doesn't matter, man. Either way, this is all due to the order these hoppers are placed with, and this is incredible. If this hopper is placed before this hopper is placed before this hopper, if the hoppers are placed like this, they're all going to be carrier hoppers, and those are the hoppers you want. You want the carrier hoppers. But if they're all placed like this, every single one of them is going to be a builder hopper. So you have to place hoppers from end to beginning, just like how I'm showing off these printers. Hey, look at that. For them to be carriers, because if you place them beginning to end, they're going to be builders. That's what determines whether or not they're a builder or a carrier. But now, cue the Panic music, because I get to tell you my theory on why this happens. Okay, my theory on why this happens. And not gonna lie, Big Chief, for this one, I am gonna turn off the Minecraft music. I am going to turn it off. And this, fun fact, this is the best way to turn off the music. And a bang, it's gone. Okay. Either way, this is why I think this happens. So, in Minecraft, there are things called tile entities. Pistons cannot push tile entities. Anything in Minecraft which can hold items in it is a tile entity. However, crafting tables and enchantment tables are not tile entities. The reason for this is when you're crafting or enchanting and you hit E, the items will drop out of your inventory. They aren't actually held in that enchanting table or crafting table, thus why multiple players can craft and enchant at the same time. Those blocks are not actually tile entities. Instead, they are considered an extension of your inventory by the game. However, an example of a tile entity would be, for example, a furnace. A furnace is the cheapest tile entity, requiring 8 cobblestone. A close second is the chest, requiring 8 wood. But cobblestone is considered cheaper than wood. So furnaces are the cheapest tile entity. That's why they're going to be all over my printers, because they have to stop pistons from pushing other pistons to their doom. So there are a bunch of furnaces where pistons are trying to push, all up and down the cartridges. You can see if you get the world download. Please do it, brother. It is very good, I promise. You will have so much fun. Anyway, hoppers are also these secret, interesting, intricate tile entities. And now what happens is, well, there are 2 definitions of tile entity. People call hoppers tile entities, but they aren't really. They have a tile entity inside them. This is why they're referred to just as tile entities for short. But it's kind of like, can you hand me some water? And your friend hands you a glass of water. The glass is the container, see? The hopper contains the tile entity, just like you say, can you hand me water? You don't say, can you hand me a glass of water? You just say water for short, even though the actual tile entity stored in the game code isn't actually the hopper, but an entity itself, just an entity that you can't affect in any way other than destroying it by destroying the hopper that it is stored in. Okay, so anyway, entities. This is how entities are processed in Minecraft. There's this thing called the Entity Update Order, or EUO. Oh man, that's a really... That doesn't sound very great, that EUO, it just doesn't sound great. Oh, the music's starting again. The music's starting again. Oh no, right. I forgot. Ha ha ha! You're gonna see why that is happening as well. What? What, boy? What, this is wrong. That's incorrect. Yo, I just discovered a new oh, put that on the glitch wiki, dude. Let's go. I've literally never ever seen that happen before. Okay. Either way, so entities are processed in a very specific way, where entities are put on the EUO, the Entity Update Order. And the entities that are created or exist in the world before other entities are earlier on this EUO. This is the reason why a player who joins in before you on a server, if there's an item on the ground and you're both trying to pick it up, the player who joined earlier will always pick up that item, no matter what. Luckily, servers like CubeCraft modded this out so that Egg Wars didn't just become utter and complete pain, just sitting on a generator while the other person picks up every single item spawning there. But in vanilla Minecraft, it's all based around the Entity Update Order who gets pickup priority. So that's what determines pickup priority. I think these hoppers are running on something with the same general idea of pickup priority. So now this is my epic, cool hopper conspiracy theory. So what I think is the tile entities, I believe that tile entities work just like normal entities and rely on this update order. And the tile entities that exist earlier in the world are earlier on this update order. That's why the order where you place down hoppers determines how they interact with each other, just like it does with every single entity. So what I think happens is if you place this hopper before this hopper before this hopper, what's going to happen is this hopper over here is going to be updated. These hoppers are going to update first in the cycle, and then these hoppers last. So what's going to happen is when some black wool enters this hopper, I'm just using black wool because it's over there, and I feel like it's the most, oh, you're going to sneakle peekle of what's to come. This cartridge over here is the final cartridge. That's just why I'm using black wool. So the black wool enters this hopper. What's going to happen? These hoppers are going to get updated, then this hopper will get updated. This hopper will be like, okay, there's black wool in me, big chief. I'm going to put it into this hopper. And then this hopper puts the black wool into that hopper. And then this hopper puts it into this. And then this goes like that. And it's beautiful and perfect. And it just goes all the way down the chain. However, I think if these hoppers update first, this hopper is going to receive some wool, and it's going to be like, okay, Chief, I'm going to put this wool in this hopper, and then it's going to put that wool, just pretend all these other ones are carriers over here. But let's say this is the first builder. Excuse me. So this guy is going to put the wool into this guy, and then next 0.6 second cycle, what's going to happen is this dude is not going to get updated first. This guy's going to get updated first, and he's going to be like, okay, let me put more wool into this guy. And then this guy gets updated right after, but he thinks, okay, I just got wool put into me. I have to reset my item transference timer. I think that when hoppers are being fed these items, their timer is getting reset, and then they do it next time. I think this is some effort to patch out some sort of dupe glitch, most likely. But that's my theory, and I think it's very cool, and I think it's correct, and I think it was so, I don't know. I'm really proud of how I, like, Sherlock Holmes that out. I'm pretty sure I'm right about this one. I'm pretty sure I'm correct. Another example of me being a crazy redstone saving fiend using chests instead of, yes, Minecraft music, you are welcome once again, come back, brother. Using chests instead of hoppers. Okay, either way, these items are going to come from all the way over here in this area. Oh my goodness. Oh, this area hurts so much. Oh boy. Okay, so this is how this area works. You're gonna flip on, wait, you're gonna flip off this lever. You're gonna flip it off. You're gonna be very rude, but this lever is going to turn off, which is going to allow this redstone torch to turn on. And then it's going to be, I'll go all the way over here, and then it's going to go back to here, perfectly timed, the most efficient it could possibly be, and then it's going to power this torch, turning it back off. This is, I think, called a T flip-flop clock. Wait, no. Is it just called a flip-flop? I think it's called a flip-flop clock. I really have no idea. Either way, this is just going to go in an infinite cycle of this torch turning on and then it turning off. It's pretty much a longer version of the clock over there. You know, the printers get more complex, the clocks get bigger. It's just how the way of the world works. Either way, what's going to happen is this is turning on and off on a very specific cycle. And the specifics of that cycle are, it's going to allow 6 items. It's going to allow exactly 6 items to exit this chest, and then those items are going to go into that hopper. Then it's going to allow 6 items to exit this chest. This is so you can put the upper left corner of the image in this chest, the upper right corner of the image in this chest. Oh, so you're getting a sneak peek of what's going to get printed. The lower left corner in this chest, and the lower right corner over in this chest. And then this is all perfectly timed, and it goes around, and and then it's going to go down here, and see there's this delay over here. This delay is so that the hoppers under here don't screw anything up, because see, these items taken out of this chest are going to take a little bit longer to reach this area than everything else, so this area has to be delayed so it matches up with that. Either way, there's a whole lot I'm not going over. Also, these comparators, I used to think they were pronounced comparators for 5 years. Everyone type F in the comments if you thought these were pronounced comparators for 5 years. But I did. These comparators are going to be constantly activating this hopper underneath this side of the double chest while there are any items in here. So while there are any items in here, this sucker isn't going to go off. But then the moment these two empty, these two are going to start popping off, and then those items are going to go through this area all perfectly, and then down into here. They're going to be timed out over to there. Oh, by the way, this is a nice little area where you can go and you can pick stuff up out of this chest. Man, I've been talking for too long. I'm going to have to take a big ol' sip of my water. So this is where you can go to get stuff out of this chest. Let me take a sip while this opens. That's some good water. Oh man. So the reason that time is running at 1/50th of the speed that it should be running at, on average, as you can see there, it took that long for a 20th of a second to happen, and it's taking that long again. But on average, time runs 1/50th of how it should normally run in this world. And once again, you are going to discover that all of these things are caused by the 3D printer. You're gonna see. It's gonna be a very fun, epic gamer surprise. But once again, the obsidian blocks mark blocks gamers can walk on. Again, oh no! I said gamers instead of players. The obsidian marks blocks that players walk on. So, well, they also walk here, but it's not marked because it has to be hoppers. You're gonna go down there, walk over here. Oh, excuse me. And then over to here. And then everything's going to be great because you're going to place all the hoppers and you're going to take the items out of this chest. Oh, excuse me. Oh, by the way, this is just another item sorting area. This is pretty basic. So that's pretty much the whole 2D printer. There's a whole lot I didn't go over, like the specifics of all the delays of the cartridges. But if you're, and you know, why these pistons need to be updated. Oh my goodness, multiple times. What? It had to. Wow. Okay. Well, that's cool, Big Chief. This needed many updates. That's kind of incredible. You know, why this piston had to be updated literally 2 times. But first of all, before I move on, I do have to tackle the auto refill. Ho ho! Ladies and gentlemen, are you tired of your printers? Are you tired of your printers? You know, you gotta go replace all the wool in the cartridges. Yeah, go all the way to the top of the build limit and put the sand back. It's the worst feeling in the world. You just feel like you're wasting time when you could have been playing with this in a creative world, but you're playing with it on your SMP to show your dominance to all your friends because you're better at Redstone. Well, the answer is no, because printers didn't exist before this video in 1.8. They just didn't exist. But now, the answer is yes, you don't want to do that. It would really stink. I have come up with a never-before-seen method, which really, technically, all of this is never before seen. So I guess that's not that's just not very cool. But the new method, which is the auto reload system. Now, Chief, let me, you're gonna let me show you, Big Chief. Let me fly over to here. Okay, so when the cartridges are getting close to empty, what you want to do is you climb the ladder right there, and then do you flick this lever? Oh, how is this? Yes, you flick this lever. This will turn this to auto refill mode. This will turn this all to auto refill mode by activating this torch and then doing just a whole lot of crap. Man, I don't have the time to explain all of this. Just get the world download, man. But either way, it's gonna make all of this stuff run on this 4 o'clock, and it has to run on a 4 o'clock, and you'll see why. Because the pistons have to push these blocks up and then push blocks in. This piston is gonna have to push sand right here upward, then push this block in. Well, I think that actually doesn't. I'm sorry. Forget. This piston. Oh my, I'm so sorry. This piston has to push sand upward, and then this piston has to push a block under here before the sand starts to fall. Don't you see? So it has to be on a 4 o'clock. A 4 o'clock, baby. Either way, this is how it works. You go up to this door. Why do you go to this door? Why is this door here? That door is there for some reason. You stand on this pressure plate. Wait a minute. What? You stand on the pressure. Okay, I'm gonna you're sitting. You go over the obsidian. You go to here. Do you do this? Do you do that? I think you do that. Maybe. Is that what you do? What do you do? Oh, I completely forgot how my own invention worked. This is currently open true. Okay. So then you step on this pressure plate, and it's gonna move this. Ah, right, I remember. It's gonna move this block, and that's gonna allow the redstone to get to the auto refill thingamabobber. and then you're just going to stand there, and you're going to hold right click over here, and there's going to be this fun block over, that's my speed, you'll see why I need that speed later, over somewhere over here, somewhere in this region. You're going to hold right click on a block that is somewhere over here. Maybe it's this piston, maybe it's that piston, I don't remember. But you're going to hold right click, and it's just going to refill for you automatically and perfectly. I promise it's going to be the best thing. It's just going to automatically refill it. You just hold right click, like on this block maybe. I really don't remember which one it is. But you just stand on that pressure plate, hold right click, and it's just the whole cartridge is going to be fully refilled with the wool. But never stop holding right click, or all the sand is going to be destroyed, and it's going to make you very, very sad. You need to hold right click until the whole thing is full. This might require switching from one stack to another stack midway, but you know, that's just how it be sometimes. You know, you need more skill than a small baby to be able to operate this. I'm sorry, it is true, Big Chief. Okay, this was horribly scuffed, but it doesn't matter because it's really cool. Oh my goodness, this is not the video my 3D printer deserved. I'm so sorry, 3D printer. You deserved so much better than me. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Either way, this has been enough. This has been enough of the 2D printer. It's kind of cool. It's pretty spicy. But now, it's time to get away from this tiny, so small. This is an ant. The 2D printer is an ant. It's so small. Let me show you a printer of normal size. An average sized printer. Because now it's time for the 3D printer. Oh yeah. It's time for the 3D printer. Oh, my goodness, Minecraft refuses to believe that it exists. Minecraft is refusing to believe that the 3D printer exists. Hell yeah. It's time for the 3D printer. Oh, now the first thing you may notice about this printer is it is very big. The second thing you may notice about this printer is my recording software takes so much of my computer's energy because my computer sucks that my computer just cannot. The third thing you can see about my 3D printer is you cannot see any of my 3D. You just can't. It's just not here. This video's a lie. It just doesn't exist. Okay, it's been a couple minutes of me just trying to load this. I want to get this a little. I just want to like a little bit, just a little bit. If I can just get like a little bit of this to load, it'll be pretty nice for the video. I know you're shy, 3D printer. I know you're shy, but for the YouTube video, please for the YouTube video though. But for the YouTube video. Oh my boy, please, 3D printer. Okay, I'm just gonna pretend like it's low enough. Oh yeah, the 3D printer, you can see all of it in all its glory, except you can't see any of it in any of its glory. Oh, you might think, Liam, I thought you were being efficient. Why would you make the person make slabs? Why is this area slabbed up, Liam? Well, if you're a true Sherlock Holmes 9 trillion IQ Minecraft genius, then you can probably decipher this reason. If you dig real hard and deep into your noggin, you can probably understand the reason this is slabbed up. You know, maybe you can, but maybe you know. Maybe you already know. Just think on that one. Think on that one. Try to solve the riddle, because it's for a pretty cool reason. Are we loaded enough? Okay. I'm just gonna fly by this and pretend like it's loaded any legitimate amount. So I'm just gonna slowly fly over here until you have counted all the cartridges and truly realize the swath of my life the printer has erased. Okay, we're gonna go over here. That's the wool, and that's the invisible cartridge. That's the air cartridge. That's how you print air. You print air with. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm going to time-lapse the rest of this. While I'm doing this, I can list off 3D printer, fun 3D facts. 3D fun fact number 1. The dimensions of this printer. Let me start with the cartridges. I'm just going to spoil it right here. There are 165 cartridges on each side of this 3D printer, totaling 330 cartridges in this printer. That is every single printable block in the entirety of the video game called Minecraft. Every single block you could conceivably invent a way to print out of this printer. You can print it. For example, half slabs. Every single different level of filled cauldrons. You can get the cauldron with no full, the cauldron with third full, the cauldron with 2/3 full, or the full cauldron. So you just have complete agency. I gave you all 3 directions of hay bales. I should see a doctor. Okay, the total dimensions of this inventions are 1018 by 2032 blocks, making it not just the world record for the biggest redstone structure ever made in Minecraft, but the world record for the biggest structure ever made in Minecraft, as far as I know, unless you count like a mine as a structure. But I've looked at many structures, and none of them are this big, and I don't count cities. Cities are multiple structures, okay? 2 structures were destroyed in 9/11, not 1. Well, actually more than that. Either way, so those are the dimensions of the, actually, there are 4 world records in this video then, because this video also has the world record for the first 2D printer in 1.8, and the world record for the first 3D printer in 1.8. So that's pretty epic. Please load, brother, I do need you to load so very much. Okay, back to the time lapse. Oh, I told you! The hay bale! Oh, I promise there are 2 others on the other side. Everything here is organized by item ID list number, by the way. I just thought it fit putting literally every single printable item in. I thought I should organize them by item ID list number. Yep. Okay, here we go. We're just still going. Not to the end yet. Okay. And we are there. Let's go. Now I get to go all the way back. You wonder why this world downloads comes with speed 255. Now you understand, don't you? You understand. You understand that I was wise to give you this. Oh crap. Wait. Yes. Now I fly. Because flying is faster than running with speed 255. Because this world just does not load. I just realized the fact which I realized before, which is this printer is either getting 10 views or 1 million, and I very much hope it is the 1 million, because there's a 50% chance it's just the 10. Oh yeah, baby. Back to this area where my frame rate can really just commit ritual suicide in front of my entire viewer base. Okay, now it's time to talk about some problems with this printer, because there are technically problems with my 3D printer. I said, I was wrong earlier in the video. I forgot about something. I said that everything was perfectly redstone efficient. That's not entirely true, and let me show you why real fast. Oh, brother, please. Brother, please give me the sauce. Oh yeah, baby. So, the 3D printer is so absolutely enormous. Minecraft refuses to admit that it all exists at the same time. Minecraft just cannot comprehend this much 3D printer. So I had to make a force loading network that goes across the entire 3D printer. This is why the game runs at 1/50th of the speed that it's supposed to, because Minecraft is constantly trying to unload thousands of chunks, and then it just reloads them immediately. This goodness. Oh my goodness. So these are hoppers, and hopper force loaders do need cobblestone in them, just so you know, because I thought they didn't, and then I yeeted on myself, and then I had to put cobblestone in every single one of them, and it sucked. But this is just a basic force loading network. It's just going to force load the entire printer permanently, and that's why Minecraft isn't having a great day right now. Man, this just... I promise there are hoppers here as well, and that's why. This area does not think that it exists. Okay, there we go. These are the little two hoppers in the middle, loading both of the chunk zones, so it can be symmetrical and perfect. Either way, one of these problems is this hopper is actually one block below the build limit. I could make this hopper, oh, that's cool, that looks cool, that looks epic, that's an awesome effect. I could make this hopper one block higher than it is right now. And the reason it's one block below the build limit is I was making this 3D printer. You see the effect of me landing so long after I landed? Okay, either way, I was making this printer to be survival friendly. And now, can you really consider it friendly if it, is this large? What I was saying is, I was making this 3D printer to be survival friendly. And I was making this printer actually a little bit earlier. I made this force loading network in Minecraft 1.8.1. I used to think Minecraft 1.8.1 was the best version because it was before they patched out the dark oak glitch. It was before they patched out the dark oak tree glitch that allowed you to break bedrock. And yes, it's pretty easy to break bedrock if you know what you're doing with headless pistons, but still, I thought it was a pretty fun way to break bedrock that made it much more accessible to players without a lot of redstone knowledge. So I wanted to play in a version where it was still there. But then I realized there's an absurd glitch in 1.8.1 where if an entity enters a nether portal before the previous entity goes to the other side, the game will literally just crash. You can bring down entire servers that run on 1.8.1 by just chucking 2 items into a nether portal in quick succession. And you have like a 2.5 second window. So it's not like, you have to chuck them both in a tenth of a second. You just throw, usually it happens by accident. You just throw 2 items into the nether portal. So I immediately got as far away from that version as I possibly could, except for 1.9, that's far worse. I didn't go to 1.9, that version is horrible. But in 1.8.1 there was another glitch where Minecraft thinks the build limit is 1 block lower than it actually is. You can use set block to get blocks there in creative, but in survival, there's no way to get a hopper up there, even placing it on a torch. That's a way to get things into the world border if you didn't know. But it doesn't work for the build limit. Either way, let me reverse my left turn at the bottom of the stairs, or whatever that reference is. Yeah, it's turning left at the bottom of the stairs, yeah. Epic reference. If you get it, you're very cool. Okay, so that's one problem. And then the second problem. So first of all, this is made on the item ID list. It's all sorted on the item ID list. However, some cartridges, I believe it is the emerald cartridge, the emerald block cartridge, and the emerald ore cartridge that are somehow in the incorrect positions, which isn't that much of a problem, but it is an aesthetic problem. And then the cauldron the cauldron cartridges seem to be in completely random locations because there was this glitch where, Minecraft, there's if you set block a Minecraft stone slab with a certain value, it'll look like a wooden slab, so I put twice as many wooden slabs, and then I found out that half of them were glitched blocks that shouldn't exist, because I middle-clicked on them to put them into the item filtration system, and then I got the pink and purple weird block, and I was like, uh-oh, what have I done? But then I realized I didn't put partially filled cauldrons in, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna put them in, so that I can have every single printable block in the game. And that's how the cauldrons happened. I didn't originally want the partially filled cauldrons, but now they're here to stay, Chief, so I cry myself to sleep. Okay, and then the last problem is these are staggered. These didn't actually have to be staggered because they're repeaters and not redstone lines. You'll see what I mean when I go over there. But these being staggered wastes 4 redstone for every one that's higher than it needs to be. So that's a total of like 660 redstone, because 330 total cartridges. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Well, no, it's not. That's bad. That's another redstone efficiency. But those are really the only problems I have discovered with this printer. So So I think that's pretty cool. Oh, baby. It's beautiful. Oh, right. Let me go over the types of cartridges. So there are a couple types of cartridges. There are 6 types of cartridges in this printer. There are the frontal cartridges. These cartridges are a little bit different than these cartridges because these cartridges are out front. So they have more room to do crap like this, where cartridges over here would never get away with it because they're blocked by this cartridge. These are called the frontal cartridges. You know what? There's a 4th problem with this printer. I could have turned this into a frontal cartridge if I wasn't a real dum-dum, because it has a generator cartridge over there. But I just didn't think about it, and now that's another inefficiency. But I don't count that as a 4th problem because I like the number 3. So just don't think about it. Just don't think about it. So there are the frontal cartridges, and then there are the solid block cartridges. There are also the transparent cartridges, somewhere over here. Somewhere over here, Big Chief. Where are they? Yes, that's glass. That's transparent. There are the sand cartridges, which are really falling block cartridges, but I just call them sand cartridges. The generator cartridges, which I just talked about. And then there is the 6th cartridge. The 6th cartridge isn't much of a type of cartridge if only one cartridge has to be this special type of 6th cartridge. But this is actually the reason that area was slabbed. Man, what a beautiful, beautiful printer. I gotta be honest, I kind of belong in a mental institute for this one. But, you know, at least I'm not crazy enough to, like, put TNT anywhere near one of these printers. That would be really, really insane. I mean, you'd have to have fully lost your... oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Is it right there? Is it right there? Is there TNT? Is there a TNT cartridge right there in front of your face? Yes, there is. And this is no fake cartridge. This is no fraud. This is no throwaway. This is a dank meme. This is a meme cartridge that cost me a month of my life. I didn't think it was possible, but the TNT actually prints. It actually prints. As you can see, this is the part I'm most excited about in the whole video. As you can see, the redstone over here, you got stuff like this, where this repeater goes over to there to activate those sticky pistons. I'll go over why these need to be sticky soon enough. And that has to go back over here to power this redstone. You're not going to see stuff like that over here or on the other side. And the reason is, this whole area, I had to make it perfect, so the TNT could go all this way without touching any redstone and blowing up. Also, this whole cartridge empties. You can empty it. And it has the auto refill system that every other cartridge has. Thinking about it now, I really cannot believe I spent a whole month of my life on this. And you know, I think it's time. I think I owe it to you to talk about how much. So that's why it was slabbed up, because otherwise the TNT could touch that and explode. So that's why I had to put slabs there. Oh man. But either way, so I think I owe it. I think I owe it to you all to really just to tell the truth about all the time I spent here, all the time wasted. Well, first of all, I have to go back to the TNT cartridge to show you something that I didn't remember because I'm real stupid. Okay, I'm just gonna be real. 3 years. Okay, now wait before you feel very, very bad for me. The first 2 years, my work ethic was really bad. I only put in like 2 hours a day. But then the 3rd year, it was like legit. And I put in like 5 hours on the printer a day, on average. Like on average throughout the year. So really, it's like 1 year of having like an 8-hour a day worth. So really, it's just 1 year. It's just, I really just spent 1 year on this printer. If you know, are honest about work, I went past it. If you're honest about, you know, work ethic and how that affected. But I'm definitely lying to myself if I pretend I put any less than 2,000 hours into this absolute beast. Over here, yes! Ooh, this is epic. This is a 20 hertz clock, meaning it activates 20 times every second. Oh, it's glorious and it's beautiful and I love it. So what this does is it rapidly updates these sticky pistons, and you'll see why. You'll see why I have to do this later when I get to the TNT cartridge explanation. But right now, it's just a reminder that if you want to actually, download this world and print, which you're going to be unable to do, and I'm going to tell you why later unless you have many Minecraft accounts. But either way, no. Actually, you could just go into Minecraft 1.13. If this printer still works in Minecraft 1.13, which it might, I don't know how much Redstone's changed, then conceivably, you could just go there and use the /force load command and load this whole thing and keep the chunks from unloading and reloading. And I'll get into chunk unloading and reloading and how that screws this all up later. But right now, just a reminder that if you want to print with this, you're going to have to switch on that 20 Hz clock. My friendo, just so you know. Anyway, so this is so sad. This is so sad. I want to admit this, but everyone, the 3D printer doesn't actually work if you just download and play. The force load system was honestly pretty much for nothing. It's not even loading. It's so far away. It was pretty, oh wait, maybe it wasn't. No, it's just not loading. Was sadly pretty much for nothing. Although it keeps it loaded almost constantly. For 1/20th of a second, every chunk unloads and then reloads every 45 seconds, because that's how Minecraft chunk loading works. And what this causes is the redstone signals that are going down here, what's going to happen is they're going to get glitched. They're going to get a little longer or a little bit shorter than they are. And because you can't just constantly load this whole thing, unless you have a trillion Minecraft accounts or you're in 1.13 using the /force load command, the signal's going to get super screwed up, and every print is just going to turn out a massive, just monstrous mashup of just everything disgusting. I tested extensively, and there's literally nothing you can do about it. Alt accounts aren't going to save you. There's just no way around this, as sad as it is. It's too bad, because it would print so fast, so hard, and so good in the neighborhood if this wasn't true, but it is, and it's a real problem, and it just stops this thing from working. Either way, let me at least show you how it works. No, wrong. The 3D printer is survival friendly, 1.8 vanilla, and it does work asterisk if you have hundreds of Minecraft accounts. Now I know that's not the best asterisk for a Minecraft invention product, but it does technically work, so I don't care. It works. I win, you lose, it's all fine. Either way, you go down here. Oh, this is glorious. This is so glorious, the silverfish. So, this 3D printer, what's wrong with me? Why did I do all this? I could have just used glass. No, that wasn't enough for me. This 3D printer prints air. It prints air. Now let me tell you how this happens, friends. Alright, first PSA, I just remembered. If you're going to print sand, red sand, or gravel, you're going to have to make sure there's a floor underneath it of something like cobblestone. Otherwise, it's just going to fall all the way down there when these pistons push that way. So let me start at the end. Once again, the last step to printing anything is the silverfish. The silverfish torturing device. Now, the torturing is a byproduct. It's really too bad. I am for silverfish rights. But sadly, it gots to happen, Big Chief. Also, this is supposed to all be obsidian, and it can all be obsidian if you want it to be. You just need, like, what I could have done, instead of just putting a bunch of chests with like a trillion snowballs inside them, you're gonna see this chest just has a bazillion snowballs in it. Yeah, Brazilian snowballs. I love how the word Brazilian can be used as a number. It's kind of funny. What you could do is you could just make a snow farm with a snowman and just use your shovel. You know what I'm talking about, right? A snow farm. And just link it up to every single one of these areas with hoppers. But that's why this printer is so customizable. That's the great thing about this printer. It's very customizable. You can choose to have many, many, many less cartridges. And it's all just going to be fine, and it's not going to be an issue at all. I really just made everything just to show off. And that was 3 years, so I don't know about that idea. Actually, you know, if I'm being reasonable, it took me about as long to make the 3D printer as it did the 2D printer. Because most of the 3D printer, first of all, I got a lot of experience creating printers from the 2D printer. But most of it was just transferring 2D into 3D. Well, you know, actually, if you take work ethic into account, the 2D printer was pretty much a quarter of all the time. But half of the 2D printer was spent on the stupid, stupid timings. Oh my gosh, I had to get them perfect. You have to do them wrong. The timings on the 2D printer are wrong. They are incorrect, but they have to be. I had to make. They don't make sense. It shouldn't work. I don't know, man. I'm mad. I'm angry. It's sad. It's so sad. It's so sad. So I'm gonna tell you how these cartridges work pretty soon. But first, I'm gonna go from end to beginning. Make this whole explanation process as simple as possible, even though this video is totally multiple hours long. But I will print from the 2D printer. Mark my words, I will print from the 2D printer, and it will be great. And I could print from the 3D printer, except it will take 8 hours, and I don't know if my computers can handle just 8 hours of sheer just recording, and then I'd have to time-lapse it. I don't think my computer can handle recording my 3D printer for 8 hours. So I'm not going to be able to do that, Chief. But, you know, I can print, you know, screw it. I can print in this video and then show you the final product. You know, I'm just not going to print. I'm just not going to print. Oh, my goodness. So, the silverfish. What's going on over here? Oh, right. And warning, if you're going to make a snow farm, it has to be above Y63. Because if it's Y63 or below, the snow golem doesn't actually generate snow layers. That's one of the ways I lost Skyblock Ultima, and it was very, very sad. Okay, either way, so what's going to happen is you're going to have some sculpture you printed in the middle, and then you're going to have a billion trillion silverfish blocks around it. And what's going to happen is you're going to go and you're going to flick this lever and then jump in this minecart and ride all the way over to here. See, this is like this, so you can decide when to go back. And then what you do is you look real closely and you wait until all the silverfish eggs are broken. And then you go over here and then they've all magically despawned. How could this happen? How is this possible? Well, let me tell you. Each one of these 3 silverfish around here has the username by, you know, using a name tag X, just as in like a variable. They just have the username X. It's not very interesting at all. I decided not to give them like special fun names, like, I don't know, Buffy, Duffy, and Gruffy or something like that. Like, you know why? It's just because, you know, it just sounded kind of stupid. But I decided just to name them all X. You can name them whatever you want if you make this, and please don't make this in survival. Oh my goodness, please don't make this in survival. I will be legally liable for your suffering if you make this in survival. But either way, these things have names, so they're not going to despawn. But you know which silverfish will despawn? The silverfish as they come out of these blocks. This is a redstone clock. It's going to go through here and well, this is the clock. But as this lever is on, this clock is going to be rapidly just filling these suckers, just machine gunning these like Osama, just filling them up with snowballs and constantly dealing damage to them as fast as damage immunity allows. So what's going to happen is the silverfish block, oh lord, oh boy, the silverfish blocks are going to be breaking as fast as possible. But when the silverfish come out, they're going to despawn immediately, because any hostile mob outside of 128 blocks of the player, unless it has something special like a name tag, just immediately despawns. So that's how you end up getting rid of all those silverfish. I think it's a very elegant solution. I'm pretty proud of that. Man, the stairs to the build limit look so absurd. Okay, let me take another drink of water. My throat's very sore from talking. That's the first thing you'll learn about being a YouTuber. You always need water. Oh boy. And then you always burp a little bit after you drink the water, because you always drink it way too fast. But don't cut drinking water out of your video, because on the recording it sounds very funny, so you keep it in. Okay, anyway. And that is how the 3D printer prints air blocks. Oh my goodness, it's so cool. I am so proud of this, even though it took 3 years of my life. I am still very proud. I'm very happy with this printer. I think it's pretty awesome. Download it, brother. I promise it's so cool and fun and good. You can print TNT, but you can't because it doesn't work. My goodness. Anyway, so this is pretty simple. It go over here, and then it go over there from the block update detect here. You know all before. But then, oh my goodness, what is this? All these pistons facing down. How does this work? Well, as you can see, you got this block update detector over here that's sideways. Oh my gosh, you've never seen a sideways block update detector before. But now you do. This piston pushes this block over here, which deactivates all this redstone, which activates this. He pushed it back. And then this dude doesn't really realize what's going on, so he doesn't push it back over there. And then this redstone turns on, activating these repeaters, butting every single one of these pistons. Even though it only activates these pistons are quasi-activated, because, you know, when you activate the block above the piston thinks it's activated, because pistons are dumb as hell. So that's how that works. It just saves on redstone. Once again, I was insane, and I decided to save on redstone in every single possible way I knew how. Okay, anyway, we move on to the V engine. This V engine is very large. It spans, once again, the 2,000 by 1,000 blocks. So, you know, it just goes over there, goes over there. It's pretty basic. I mean, download the world if you're really interested in seeing, like, all the intricacies of how this works. But this one hits a little different, Big Chief, because these are sticky pistons. Oh, Lord. This V engine has to go a whole lot faster, because otherwise the delays would have been so much more cancerous. So this is actually a 2-tick clock. That's right, baby, a 2-tick clock. What happens is, these suckers are turned on, and then they are turned off while this is turned off, and then they're going to retract, and then they're going to be turned on again, but they're not going to push the moment they're turned on, because they're still retracting. But then they're going to push, because they have been turned on for the final time. But then they're going to start retracting the next 20th of a second. These suckers are going to be doing this as well. This is going to activate the block drop glitch, because if you retract a piston while it's extending and a block's over here being moved over to there, it's going to teleport the block over to here, allowing the block to move through this a whole darn lot faster. Oh yes, very epic. So anyway, that's how that works. And then there are some interesting parts of the V engine. Oh right, oh baby, on to this part of the video. Oh, this following part of the video is 9 trillion. You're gonna love this. You're gonna think this is absolutely amazing. I promise, brother. It's the world's running at normal speed again. That happens rarely. Minecraft is not currently trying to unload all the chunks. It unloaded and reloaded every single one of them. Now, Minecraft is going to take a break, have a party, and celebrate. And balance is restored to the world. Everything runs correctly once again. And then everyone lived happily ever after. It's beautiful. Psych, Minecraft does it all again. Just for another time. And then again and again, and just the pain lasts forever. And the world is always stuck in this frozen state of time traveling, 1/50th of the speed it's supposed to. Oh my lord, it is not the sauce. Anyway, so this works on the same way that over there worked on. But what goes on over here is these lines are fully powdered. These redstone lines get powdered from the item filtration system, and they transfer all of their powder over to here. This is another redstone adapter, but wait a minute, this one looks different. Why is that? Can you Sherlock Holmes the answer? No, you can't. I didn't give you enough time. It just wasn't even fair. This sticky piston extends over here, causing this one to extend, and pretty much this clock is perfectly timed, so it activates once every half of a second. That's right. For the 3D printer, I had to go hard. I had to go crazy. So what did I do? I made everything run way faster. I shaved 16% of the time off the clock that this one runs on. Instead of a 6-tick clock, which is normie trash, this 3D printer runs on a 5-tick clock. And you'll see the horrible, heinous things this caused me to have to do in the cartridges, why there are a million bazillion redstone wires that just make you want to die when you look at them. The reason is it's not enough for the sand to finish falling. The sand cannot finish falling under normal circumstances for a 5-tick clock to work. A 5-tick clock is just too fast for the sand to fall. But I caused it to not be normal circumstances. And that's how it works. You'll see, you will find out, you will discover and learn and become a more powerful human being. Okay. Either way, so this powers here, and this adapts it to become a 5-tick clock, constantly activating this sticky piston. What does this sticky piston do, you may ask? Well, it's going to power this 0-tick pulse generator. Whoa, 0-tick pulse generator? Why are we using a 0-tick pulse generator? And now that is where this happens. This idea, this 0-tick pulse generator, let me tell you the full story, because you gotta hear the full story for this one. This is truly magical. So I was having a problem where this stuff just wouldn't print. So you know how this thing is trying to push a block up, I think right here. I'm pretty sure right here is the block it's trying to push up. And this sticky piston is extended for 3 game ticks and then retracted for the 4th. So I was like, okay, simple. I can just sync this up to where this sucker, because the problem is this clock is no longer synced up to the main clock of the printer. 5 is not divisible by 2, although 6 is. So now, because it's a 5 clock that the printer is running on, I had to get super creative on how I wanted to work. Because what was normally going to happen is this sucker would be retracted and everything would be fine the first time this wanted to push up a block, but then 5 ticks later, this clock would be on the opposite cycle, and this would be extended, thus making this piston fail to push the block upward, and then the 3D printer no longer works. How did I fix this problem? Another thing I just realized, I'm default Minecraft Steve. I just realized how weird this is for literally every single person watching this video. I am a man of culture. I've always preferred the default texture pack. I'm good with the default skin. The new blocks in 1.13 make me want to throw up all over my computer. I just prefer the average default stuff in Minecraft. And that's why this is just my skin. It's not even like it's not loading, because that happens sometimes. This actually just is my skin, because I don't care, man. Now I get to tell Steve that I do like his threads. I do like your threads, Steve. I think they are very great. The thread count is very high, and the cycle continues. The cycle continues. Okay. Either way, what I had to do, I was like, I understand. I thought I was a super genius. I was like, I'm going to sync up this clock perfectly and delay it a half of a tick or a game tick, because there are 20 game ticks in a second, but 10 redstone ticks in a second. Anyway, what happens is if this thing's delayed, this thing is extended, and then the next 20th of a second, it retracts. So if this is on that cycle, it's going to be fine because this will be retracted. However, 1/10 of a second later, right before this is going to extend, it hasn't extended yet. So if this pushes up there, everything's fine. So I just had to sync this up to where it wasn't on the cycle where the piston would be extended and then be retracted. Instead, it was on the cycle where the piston would be retracted and then the piston would once again be retracted. However, what would happen is these pistons would start pulling blocks backward. I was like, brother, what the hell is going on? You're supposed to push them forward, you moron. But then I realized it was how I synced it up. It couldn't be on that cycle. Because if I waited, because, right before the piston's going to extend, that's fine. The block could be pushed up then. But if I pushed up the block right after the piston retracted, the other piston would retract and the block would just start moving down this way, the complete and utter wrong direction. So I did need it to only push up when the piston up here wasn't extended. And I was losing sleep over this. I was so sad. I was like, oh my gosh, this is an unsolvable problem. I didn't know how I was going to fix this problem. And then right when I was about to fall asleep, an idea hit me. I got this idea while I was waiting in bed waiting to fall asleep, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'd better not forget this by the morning. And then I woke up in the morning, and I completely forgot that idea. To this day, I have no idea what that idea was. It probably would have saved me a lot of time. But I came up with a different... No, I'm kidding. I did remember the idea when I woke up. I did remember the idea. And then I implemented it, and so here's the idea. Oh my goodness. I was like, wait a minute. If I need this thing to push up when the piston is retracted, but if it was to push up on the other cycle, the piston would be extended, what I can do is I can just give this piston one redstone pulse, and then 1/10 of a second later, I can give it a different one. Because if it's the first cycle, it goes on the first redstone pulse, and everything is fine. But if it's on the second cycle, it tries to go the first time, it fails because there's an extended piston in the way, and then it gets a pulse 1/10 of a second later, and it succeeds. And it worked. It actually worked. I was like, oh, my brain was like the size of the universe. Oh, give me a sec. I just kind of burped into myself. Whatever. I kind of like burped without, whatever. It doesn't matter. So either way, this is how that works. This has to give this sticky piston a 0-tick pulse, which then activates all of this bullcrap over here. It would normally activate the pistons that would push the generated blocks over there. But no, what happens, that happens, but what also happens is the redstone goes over to here, delayed 1/10 of a second, and goes back around into the piston, giving it the second pulse that it needs, so that either cycle it will be activated at the right time. Oh, I'm so proud of this. It's so beautiful and glorious. Whatever. Ironically enough, that's not the cartridge I want to go over first. I want to start with the frontal cartridges. They were the first cartridges I ever created, close to my heart. My beautiful baby boy. I love you so much. Oh, yes. Man, you know what? I feel a lot... I think I feel towards this printer how a bad mother feels toward her children. And by that I mean, I don't regret making it, but I definitely would not do it again. I do not regret making my 3D printer, but when I started, if I knew it would be 3 years later, I would have said, hell no, brother, I am not going to do that. But luckily, I was a complete moron, and I thought that I was the god of the universe and could do literally anything. And I was such a stubborn piece of crap that even when the future looked absolutely impossible, I persevered, and thus the 3 years of my life have been traded for a world in a video game called Minecraft. And that's how I'm here today. That's my thoughts on the print. I don't regret it, but dear Lord, I would not do it again. I don't care how many views this gets. I don't care if this becomes the most viewed video on YouTube. I would not do it again, brother. Let me tell you. Anyway though. Oh my goodness. So this is the multi-pulse generator. I'm gonna call this the pulse duplicator. This is the pulse duplicator. The 0-tick pulse comes from there, and the delay comes from over here. It goes around and it comes back towards the piston through that block over there. And then you got your 2-tick delay that goes to this piston right here, which actually has to be updated by this piston over here. So let me explain how these cartridges work. So these are very interesting cartridges. Obviously they have to be much, much bigger because otherwise they just wouldn't have enough blocks. The printing matrix is so much larger now. It's 12 by 12 by 12. It's a whole new dimension. I mean, you know, what am I going to say? I need more room. I need more stuff in my cartridges to empty out. And so the cartridges had to be 12 times as big as well. Well, not exactly. They didn't have to be this big. Well, actually, they're 13 times as big, baby. I made them 13 times as big. You shall discover how. Okay. My throat is so dry. You know what? Let me get more water and come back. Let me get more water and re-enter the world of my printer, which I both love and hate so much. Okay, it's time. Ho, I am back, and I have more water. Ho, one glass was not enough for this 3-hour video. I hope it's not 3 hours, but it might be like 4.5. Who knows? Or 5. I don't know. It really. What if it's 8? Man, I don't know. Okay, either way. So this pushes block up. This pushes block that way. And then this goes over to here, powers this redstone, which is going to go over here, and activate this sticky piston, but not for so long. It pushes the block and pulls it back. It's going to drop the block. It's the glitch I was talking about earlier. You'll see why this has to be a sticky piston pretty shortly. Oh man. Either way, that's going to go up to here, going to be delayed perfectly like this, so that this can turn into delay. So pretty much the reason this has to be here is so, man, it's just really precise delays. I can't go over it right now. It's just really precise delays. It had to be a piston delay. Either way, that is going to absorb the power from this and convert the power and push it over to here. And then this is going to go up. Oh no. Ooh, baby, it is time for the spectator mode. Game mode 3. Oh yeah, baby. Either way, while I'm still in creative, it's going to go over here, there, go up to here, and then it's going to power all of these pistons, which are facing downward, so that wherever the hole is, it's going to be pushed. Oh, I'm so powerful. Is the glitch still here? It is! What is this glitch? This does not make sense. Oh, I see. So it's the first 20th of a second after you go into spectator mode. You still have hitboxes and a fully loaded head. That's interesting. That's one for the book. Write that down. Write that down, brother. Okay. So that's going to go over to here. After it pushes these down, it's going to be delayed 2 ticks. Actually 3, because of this 0-tick pulse generator. This has to... And this is how I did it, boys. This is how I pulled the magic. So when the sand is down here, this piston is going to immediately push it and then just pull back. When the sand goes down here, the sand is going to get yeeted instantly, and then the sand is going to have a whole half a second to fall down here. Actually, I think I could make this 1/20th of a second faster, but that would send me to just brain explode hell. I'm not going to do that. Either way, that's going to go up here. You have this little redstone that goes over here for actually no reason. There is no reason for this. The redstone update order pretty much just, I don't know what goes wrong. I think these pistons don't activate or something. But because of the redstone update order, this literally has to just go this way. This is not activating anything. It's not changing this comparator. It's just changing the update order of this redstone. It's pretty sad. It's very, very sad. Either way, that's going to go over here, activate all these pistons facing down over there, and that's going to go over to this is your tick generator over here, and then that's going to go back up here, while also activating the pistons over here, and it's going to be perfect, beautiful, and glorious, and the pattern is just going to repeat like that all the way up to the top. Literally a 0-tick pulse generator every single time is necessary. Oh my goodness. I remember back when I thought that would be the most impressive part of my 3D printer. Oh my lord, I was painfully wrong. Okay, so I'm going to go all the way to the tippity top, and this is where the sand is. Obviously we need the sand. We need these blocks so that the sand doesn't get pushed too high, actually. Because if the sand got pushed too high, this block would be pushed up here, and then it would just all be a disaster. Because this block would just sit here forever, blocking the sand from falling down. But luckily, this piston doesn't push too hard, and it just, it can't push these blocks upward. So that's pretty cool. Once again, Cartridge is going to the build limit, and no reason for them not to. More cartridge equals more fun, less times you have to reload. Refill, auto refill. Keep saying reload. I think refill sounds a little bit better. Alright, so that's how that's happening. And now you know why I wanted to do this in creative mode, so I could go down more quickly. There's a little bit more to talk about. So you might think, Liam, what happens when this sub-cartridge right here empties? When all these blocks are gone, and the sand is falling out the bottom, because there's nothing to stop it. What do you do? Superman isn't here to save us now. Well, Superman may not be here, but what is here? That's right, baby. The piston moving machine. The piston moving system. Now, the piston moving system is going to detect when there's sand over here. Because when there's sand over here, it's going to fall for a little bit. And when that sand falls, this is going to get unpowered for a tiny amount of time. But it's not going to get unpowered when this block is just pushed by a piston. So it detects when this sub-cartridge is about to be empty. And that is going to turn this redstone torch on for a little bit. And that's going to do two things. The first thing it's going to do is it's going to power this cartridge with 15. But then 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. Subtract 8 from it. What's 15 minus 8? I bet you don't know. Well, fun fact, it's 7. That's going to go into here. Wait, why is this on subtract? Oh, of course, that's why it's on subtract. I'm sorry, I'm an idiot. That's going to go into here and activate this with the perfect redstone signal of 7. See, what's 7 going to do? I call this a redstone capacitor. I've never found this anywhere else on YouTube, even though I've searched for a while, so I might have invented this also. I probably didn't, it's pretty simple, but it just allows two comparators to remember what their signal strength is. So this comparator, remember, this is signal 8. 8, still 8, I mean 7. Sorry, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's right, using comparators to perfectly decide how many pistons have to push. This sticky piston will then push this block over to here. This is the sub-cartridge blocking system. This will block these pistons from pushing these blocks down so that disaster doesn't strike, and so that there aren't blocks over here which these sticky pistons attach to, and then they wouldn't be able to keep on moving everything forward. So that's what that does. But then, there are two sides to this epic redstone coin. Give me a sec, I just forgot where everything was. There are two sides to this coin. On this side, the redstone is going to power this repeater, which powers this repeater, perfectly delaying everything. This is going to go off twice, actually, because that's how long it takes to realize what's going on. This is going to activate twice. This is a 0-tick pulse generator. It's going to generate a 0-tick pulse, and it's going to use this sticky piston as a T flip-flop. This sticky piston is going to push, and then it is going to pull back up. So even though that activates twice, this area will activate only once. And ladies and gentlemen, can you recognize what this is? Seth Bling's slime block drawbridge. All the way from 2015 coming into 2020 to help out the boys make a 3D printer. Seth Bling's slime block drawbridge. This is such an awesome, cool, elegant way to move this sticky piston. So what's going to happen? You can find out what's going to happen. Well, this sticky piston is going to activate first. What's going to happen? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 blocks. This sticky piston is going to attempt to pull 13 blocks, and then is going to fail to pull 13 blocks, because it can only push and pull 12. So instead, it will just start pulling. And then this will be activated while this is still a tile entity. Pistons that are pushed out or currently retracting are tile entities. So when this sucker gets activated, it's only going to be pushing 12 blocks. Even if there's a slime block over here, it's not going to see this because it's a tile entity. So it's going to be able to push because there are only 12 blocks. And then this is going to release this because it's just a 1-tick long signal because of the 0-tick pulse generator up there. When this releases, it's going to cause the block teleportation glitch. This is just how Seth Bling's slime block drawbridge works. And then this sucker is going to get powered before all this stops moving, pushing this slime block back over here. So while these slime blocks move forward 1 block so they're over here, and then keep moving forward down the line every single time a sub-cartridge is emptied, it's going to move this sticky piston forward 1. That's how this sticky piston is getting moved forward. But then this slime block is going to stay over here because it gets pushed back without being connected to all the other slime blocks because it was teleported over here ahead of time, ahead of schedule, so it could take an earlier bus back home. And that is how it's going to move forward. Now this is going to happen over and over again. This signal strength is going to be increasing. With each redstone torch, it goes this way because the amount subtracted will be decreasing. And, it's going to keep getting moved forward from the stuff over at this side, move forward every single time until the sticky piston is right here. Because that is when this sub-chunk will empty. When this sub-chunk will empty, the 11th sub-chunk, this is going to deactivate this guy over here. When this sucker gets turned off, this redstone torch turns on, activates this redstone line, turns on this. Am I going to call this a T flip-flop? I am going to call this a T flip-flop, even though that's really just the incorrect term for it. I'm going to call it a T flip-flop, and nobody can stop me. This T flip-flop is going to toggle, pushing this iron block over here, activating this iron torch, so that this signal can stay on forever. Why does this have to stay on forever? Because it's toggling this sticky piston. This sticky piston is then going to push this block down in front of this unpowered repeater. Why do we need this repeater giving signal to this area? Let me tell you why. It's because it's going to go over here. Wait. Oh, right. It's because it's going to go over to here. This is why this has to be here, so that this signal isn't too long up in this area. Either way, what it's going to do is it's going to activate this sticky piston, which is going to be right over here, for a little bit longer. It's going to be a 2-tick activation instead of a 1-tick activation. And once again, I'm talking about redstone ticks, so it's going to be 4 game ticks instead of 2. 4 is at least 3, and if a sticky piston is powered for at least 3 game ticks, it's going to push and then retract the block. So what it's going to be doing, instead of emptying this cartridge, is now it's going to be emptying this cartridge. And that is how that works. What's going to happen when this sub-cartridge is starting to empty out? It's going to deactivate this. It's going to activate this. activate the redstone over here, which serves a dual purpose. It pushes this back here so that refilling this cartridge, making everything go back to how it was before it printed, and reloading all of it is going to be much, much easier to do. You're not going to have to come up here and activate this by yourself. And then this piston is going to push this block over here, the secondary T flip-flop. This torch is unrelated. This torch is going to activate this block, which is going to activate this redstone, which is going to do two things. First of all, this sucker is going to start updating. This piston couldn't have been updated every time, because if this piston was being updated every single time, this cartridge would actually take priority over the sticky piston over there, because they're both activated at the same time. So we needed to make sure this piston wasn't being updated. Well, I think that's why. This thing had to not be updating until now. So it's going to turn off this, allowing this to receive clocking from here, and then be on the perfect timing and start updating that piston and emptying this sub cartridge. Also, it's going to go down here, power this repeater, go down to here, and then constantly power this sticky piston as well. Wait. And yeah, just constantly power this sticky piston. So that would be no longer emptying those cartridges. Now this sub chunk is going to be emptying out. What's going to happen when this sub chunk's emptying out? Well, that's going to deactivate this one, activate this redstone torch, activate redstone going down here. This piston is going to push this block over this torch, which is going to, reset this to how it was beforehand. Very, very elegant, very simple, very compact. And then that's going to be pushed over here. And then that redstone torch is going to activate this redstone over here. Going to go down and around, in and out, over to here, and it's going to lock this repeater. What this repeater locking is going to do is it is going to make it so that all this crap up there just stops, and it is going to be the emergency stop for this entire cartridge. This whole cartridge will just not be able to be printed anymore to make sure sand doesn't fall out the bottom. We always have to be making sure that sand never falls out the bottom. That is the #1 priority. We want to make this very, very user-friendly. Really too bad that you need 1 million accounts for this to even work. And also that it lags the hell out of the game. Okay, now I'm going to be real chief. I have no idea what this does. So let me look over here. Oh, it was hiding from me. What does this do? Oh, it goes through this. Because the signal goes a little bit later. Right, because the piston takes a little bit longer to retract, so this has to go earlier? Wait a minute. I don't know, Big Chief. For some reason, it gotta be how it be. Oh no, man. Yeah, why does it have to go earlier? Because it's that much later? I guess. Well, either way, all this crap has to be activated earlier because of all this, because the signal is a little bit longer. Yeah, it's activated so much earlier that it's on the next cycle. Okay, I see. So this unlocks that so this all can get activated earlier. Wow, that's really awesome. It was hiding from me. I didn't even see it. What a sneaky secret little boy. Okay, so that is the frontal cartridge. Now things get a little bit different when we go to the normal solid cartridges. Now here is an example of a solid cartridge. I don't know. I'm going to use this one. I just feel like it. So this solid cartridge is going to be a little bit different. It can't have that extra crap out in front. It's going to be almost the same except for this area. This is the problem right here. It couldn't come out this side. It had to go in this side and come out this other side. So what's going to happen? This is going to turn on this torch. This torch, wait, this works? That's legal? Oh, it is legal because of how torches work. Oh, no, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, wow. Okay, that's pretty cool. So this repeater does actually turn off for a tiny amount of time, but it's not a long enough amount of time for the torch to turn off. That's pretty amazing. Either way, when this sucker empties out, this torch turning on, powering this redstone over here, going over to there, activating this T flip-flop right here. Once again, it isn't actually a T flip-flop, just a disclaimer. What that's going to be doing is bringing power over to here, down around there. It's going to go through this repeater, go over to here, and that's where it's going to activate this guy, and also where it's going to unlock that sucker. Then, whoa, where is everything? I cannot see, I am blind. Then, this is going to power this redstone torch, go over to there, power a redstone dust that's underneath this block, which is going to both undo this and power this. This is going to move that block over to there, over to this redstone torch right here. Why can't that torch be here? Because this would power it, and that would really, really suck. This redstone torch is going to not just grant power over there, but also turn this torch off, allowing this crap over here to pop off. That's going to go down, it's going to go around, it's going to go to there, and it's going to, from this side instead, it has to do it from this side now, turn that sticky piston off forever, well, on forever, but you get the point. It's going to stop it from, keeping on pushing. And then we got a powered repeater over, well, of course, it's, oh my goodness. I'm doing it again. This unlit redstone torch is going to become lit. Oh, it's like Dubai, got him. That's going to undo this. It's going to go down over to here. It's going to activate this T flip-flop, which is going to move this over here, activate this redstone there, and bingo, it's going to stop the entire thing. And that is the emergency shut-off system for that cartridge. Look at that. So now, I am going to tackle the, what are we doing? Oh, I used the scroll wheel. Oh, how do I? Fast, yes! Now I am Sonic. Let's go. Over here. Now I must go over to here. Now this is the glass. It's the glass. Oh my goodness. Maybe I should turn this down. Oh, I thought my game crashed for a second right there. Yeah, let's go. Okay, I'm sorry. So this has to be a little bit, okay, let me turn, how do I turn this down? How do I turn, no, wrong way. How do I turn? I am sick of this crap. Okay, there we go. Solve the problem. I need to not use my scroll wheel when I'm in spectator mode. I just want the normal speed. I'm used to it because I'm in creative all the time. Okay. So this, nope. Oh my goodness, wrong one. So this had to be a little bit different. As you can see, this is all transparent now. So if you're going to detect for when the sand is falling, well, it's just going to be detecting that constantly because there's never a solid block to transfer the redstone signal here. So I had to get fancy. Luckily, sand is a buy one, get one deal. You get an extra when you get sand, because not just does sand fall and then not activate things, but sand is also just a solid block, so it falls down here and it's going to activate this. So this redstone crap over here is going to activate the sand when it gets down to there, which is going to activate one of these unpowered repeaters, which is going to activate one of these blocks, push up, sticky piston. Otherwise, this would be powered forever, and we can't have that. That would just be a nightmare. One thing, though, the, capacitor! It's capacitor! Oh my goodness. The redstone capacitor. Oh my goodness, I'm so sad. I'm so mad. The redstone capacitor would normally go here, but now it can't, just because of how zero-tick pulses work. It's just not going to work out. So we had to get a new method of that. Either way, the delays here are a little bit different, just because everything's a little bit different here. But it's going to go down here, activate this, go down there, and you know the drill. However, this time, this is only going to get activated once, so we don't need a T flip-flop right here. We can just go straight on in there and move this sticky piston forward one. Now this is where it gets a little bit spicy. This is over here, and I believe everything else is the same, right? Is everything else approximately the same? Yeah, that's going to come out here. No, it's pretty different. No, it's actually quite different. You know what? Let me go over this first. So this is here. This is going to activate that redstone there. It's just going to go down there, over to here, over around here. It's going to extend the pulse, and then it is going to... What? How does this work? Oh, I see how this works. That actually does stay powered forever because the sand just sits there, and it stays constantly powered because there's sand there. And normally, when it's unpowered, it activates, but now because it's powered, I don't actually need a T flip-flop over there. I can just have that sit there. The pulse extension is so this never turns off. Anyway, this sticky piston is going to go down here, and this redstone is going to, you know, unlock that crap. So the good old 3D printer you know and love. This, however, is going to use a sticky piston just so it can transfer the signal over to here more easily. I think this was the most efficient way to do this because I was kind of surrounded by a bunch of blocks and crap. And I think this is pretty elegant. I like this using this lever, which is meant for this crap over here, to power this redstone repeater right here. It's going to go into this iron block when it goes over there. And not just is it going to shut off this to, you know, make that able to move, you know, make that piston able to push again. It is also going to power this redstone over here, which is going to go down to there. And there you go. You already know what time it is. And last, but I don't know, probably is least. It's probably least, honestly. The emergency shutoff system. It just goes over to here. Goes through this one. Yeah, baby. It's going to push this here. And it's going to go over there and shut the whole thing off. But now this is the interesting part. This is all powered by these redstone torches, and when this block moves one, the power these comparators are getting is going to be one lower, or 14. This pulse extender has to be here for some reason. Comparator pulse extender, a very special kind. I don't remember exactly why. Oh, right, because otherwise it would just become 0 for a little second. Anyway, that's going to make one less the number subtracting from this. So the redstone subtracting from this is going to get one less powerful every time that moves forward. And that means this is going to get one more powerful, so it's going to activate this piston, then that piston, then that piston, and that is how the sub-cartridge blocking system is able to still function, even though this is bulkier and most likely less redstone efficient. It's too bad that we can't have the nice things, but sometimes that's just how it be, man. Okay, let me go back over here, Big Chief. Oh, the sand cartridge. I want to save that for a little bit later. I'm going to go over the generator cartridges. These are just so absolutely free. This piston pushes, and then, wow, every now and then that happens. Just one of these three pistons have to push. They need updaters, of course. Well, that's not of course. They do need updaters, but other than that, they're just going to push the block on forward, and that water is going to flow underneath the lava and make a new stone block. And it's just going to be great. And it's pretty much the same in the cobblestone zone. Wow. Okay. Once again, the redstone going around and reactivating the piston for the second pulse. This beautiful use of a half slab. I'm pretty proud of that one. The water over here flowing so that when this lava flows here, it's going to be turned into a cobblestone again. 3 pistons, because that's what you need for a clocking system that's fast. And it's just pretty simple, pretty basic, pretty easy, pretty cool. This is the sand cartridge. Now, I really like the sand cartridge. The sand cartridge, very redstone efficient, very, I don't know, environmentally friendly. It's just really redstone efficient, really great. And I really had to pack some crap in there for this one, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, you're going to be surprised. You know, first let me go over the auto reload system, because the cartridges I've tackled so far have been very similar, other than this, obviously, but this doesn't have an auto reload system. It just makes infinite of that type of thing. But I think I should go over the auto reload systems, because they're actually very, very interesting. They are very cool. So let me tell you how it works. First of all, you're going to step on this pressure plate, and or in between these two, because the farther left pressure plate takes priority. So you're going to step on this pressure plate to the right side of it to be safe, and you're just going to hold right click up here, and it's just going to rapidly place those blocks. Once again, don't stop holding right click, because then you're going to be screwed. And then the moment you're not able to do that anymore, you're going to move over to here and start doing the same thing over here. Then move over here, then move over here, 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 and just do that all the way down, and it's just going to slowly fill the whole thing back up. And you're going to see how this works. But this is one of my favorite parts of the printer. This is very, very cool. And then, of course, you're going to do stuff like... before then, you're going to have to hit this fun little button over here. Because what this button's going to do, first of all, it's going to turn this flip-flop back off. But it's also going to subtract from this, which is going to change this redstone capacitor back to 0. I remembered it this time. Yes, the word capacitor. I did it. Okay, let me drink some more water. Give me a sec. Hell yeah. Oh. Let's go. Let's go, boys. Let's go. So that's going to change that. And one more thing, for most cartridges, because this is normally over here, you're actually going to have to go here and press its fun button. You got to press its secret fun button hidden over here to push that stuff back over there. But that's fine. You can just tower up with 2 cobble, walk over here, and just press it. It's not really difficult at all. Oh, also, you're going to have to break all the slime blocks over here and then replace them over here. That turned out to be a whole lot easier than making redstone. I could have made this go the other way, but in the end, just breaking and replacing the slime blocks is easier, which is kind of too bad, because it would have been really cool if, you know, that's what Seth Bling's slime block drawbridge is supposed to do. It's supposed to be able to go both ways. But sadly, that just wasn't happening, Chief. But that's how you gotta do that stuff as well. But then what you want to do is you just want to use the pressure plates, man. Just want to use the pressure plates, and that is how this works. This is going to send a redstone signal over here. 15, 14, 13, 12 is going to subtract 12 from this comparator, but power it with a 15 input. So this comparator is going to be powered with 15, and by the way, it says it's powered right now. That's actually just a glitch. Comparators don't update properly all the time, and this is one of those times. So this comparator is going to then power this, and because it's powering with 3, because 15 minus 12 is 3, it's going to be 3, 2, 1, uh-oh, that's going to power this repeater. What's this repeater going to do? It's going to power all the pistons over here, so that they can push those blocks upward. By the way, have you ever noticed that pistons look like this, when normal blocks just look like, you know, that? I mean, I can see right through the iron, but you can't see right through the pistons. Very interesting. Maybe something to do with them being a Thailand. Yeah, I don't know, it's pretty cool. Minecraft tips and tricks that you actually didn't know. Okay, and then over here you got another comparator. This is going to be 2 and then 1. This is going to be a 1 redstone signal, subtracting 1 from this, which is currently a 15, making this from a 13 to a 12, which is going to subtract 1 less from this. Powering here, subtracting here. So see how this signal just travels all the way up perfectly. And it's going to allow every single one of these different comparator signals to travel all the way up like that in the best, most efficient way possible. This is another thing that I invented. I invented the most efficient way to travel comparator signals upward, which is subtracting from the next comparator above. In this way, this is once again runs on a 4 clock. It runs on a 4 clock. It has to run on a 4 clock. But that makes some interesting things happen. So this comparator is then going to get 1 more powered over here. So it's going to activate just this piston right now until you step on the next pressure plate. So the right amount of pistons is always going to be activated until you step on the next pressure plate, in which case the next piston is going to also be activated every single time on a clock. It's a clock that varies in redstone signal. Once again, something that most likely I personally haven't seen that anywhere before. So either way, this is actually very, very interesting. this is going to power this, and this is actually going to be subtracted from this piston. This is going to end 1/20th of a second after it would end by, being forced to end by this piston, but it has to be forced to end a little bit early, because otherwise, what's going on here? What's going on here, Chief? All right. Otherwise, these pistons would actually be overstaying their welcome. These pistons have to retract a little bit sooner, this piston over here, because otherwise, this comparator is just going to keep them extended for a little bit too long, and then those pistons down there won't be able to push blocks upward. Also, all of these pistons have to be updated every single time this clock goes off. Now, how the heck are we going to be doing that? Every single piston? It feels like a kind of impossible task, but no, it's not. We take a piston over here, activate it, along with this delay, going over to there. This redstone is going to loop up over to there. Down here, not going to do anything to this comparator, even though it kind of looks like it will, around to here, and then it's going to activate this piston right here, and it's going to push all of these blocks back. So these blocks are going to be pushed back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and you have all these pistons and all these blocks that just have the sole purpose of updating this line of pistons right here. And then once again the pattern continues. This redstone also goes up this way, driven away from pointing towards this piston with this lever so that it doesn't quasi this piston, because otherwise this just wouldn't work at all, over to this comparator, which is powered through some bullcrap over here, really crazy stuff, into this bit of redstone, and then the pattern continues. We need this pulse extender. We have to go up here, because remember the pulse was shortened a little bit, so we have to extend it now. That crap's going to go all the way up here, and then you've seen this before, you're seeing it again. These pistons are going to be activated at the perfect level, the perfect amount of pistons every single time, and it's also going to go into here. It's going to update those pistons with these pistons, and these pistons don't have to be updated. These pistons do. And that's going to go up. This is powered with 15, but it gets subtracted, and it will then be sending out a 14. And the signal travels all the way up to the top. All the way to the top, to the build limit. Whew, so I think that is absolutely legendary. Awesome auto reload system. It works pretty much the same way for every single cartridge, except it gets really flipping wild on the TNT cartridge. You're gonna love the auto reload on the TNT cartridge, baby. Oh my lord. That is a crazy, crazy thing. Either way, I'm now going to go to the sand cartridge, and you're now going to be able to compare and contrast the auto reload of the sand cartridge with that one. I think the auto reload of this one is better, even though it's much less cool and user friendly. You do have to walk up a staircase that goes all the way up to the build limit. One staircase for each one. As you can see, they're fun little twinsies just hanging out. And then you stand on the obsidian blocks over there, and then you place blocks onto those iron blocks. You place the sand onto there, and it's just going to fall down, and it's just going to reload, and it's just going to be beautiful. And that's pretty much the entire system, except you are going to have to replace by hand the sand and gravel in these little areas under these pistons. And you're going to find out why these pistons are here, why this has to go through this little bend. So things are looking pretty normal. Pretty normal in Printerville, in Sandville right now. Pretty not that weird. You have Seth Bling's slime block drawbridge to push this sticky piston forward. By the way, coolest use for this invention there will ever be. I love this being right here. I just think it looks so awesome. Oh man. How can the 1.7ers do it? How can they play before slime blocks? I will never know. Anyway, this is not going to detect, so this is why these pistons have to be here. Because this is not going to detect when these pistons push down, but only when sand falls, when it is truly that close to being empty. What happens then is this is going to turn off, turn on, turn off, turn on, because it just was that cramped, baby. This was so cramped. Gonna power these, gonna power that. These are going to go up for a little bit. Yep, sticky pistons. The signal cannot be too long. And that is going to, this is used as a bud switch, as a T flip. Yeah, this is a T flip flop, an actual T flip flop, and it's going to take this block and then put it back up there. And the reason is, well, it's really complicated. It's so complicated. The reason this has to take the block. That's going to activate twice, and then this is going to do its thing. This block has to start up here for some reason that I forget. But then that's going to activate this redstone over here. This is not going to activate anything through the wall, even though it looks kind of scary. It's right up against this other cartridge, man. It's hilarious. This was all just packed so close together, so tightly. Anyway, comparator, repeater, zero tick pulse generator. It's going to go down here. Not going to activate that. Better not activate that one over there. That is for the gravel cartridge. Honestly, the gravel cartridge has some issues. This had to be so compact. This is honestly, I should honestly just go over the gravel cartridge separately. The gravel cartridge was a nightmare to make. Not as bad as the TNT cartridge by a mile, but still. You're gonna see some disgusting, ugly crap in the gravel cartridge. Either way, this isn't gonna be a problem at all. This is going to power over here. This actually has to start up once again. This just makes no sense. That's going to go through this repeater, because this is actually going to be activated 4 times. This whole system is going to be activated 4 times. Isn't that crazy? This is going to activate this furnace, and then is going to activate, this sticky piston. You know the drill. And then this is the system I used over here for the capacitor system. As it moves, it's going to get less powered and less powered. First, well, this is actually kind of interesting. Instead of a blocking system, that wouldn't really work because the sand underneath would fall anyway and get attached to the sticky and screw everything up and just make the whole thing not work. So what I actually had to do here is I had to make very specific systems. This is going to pull some slime blocks, and it's going to pull these half slabs over here. So the sand is going to fall down onto the half slabs when that gets pulled like that. And then over here, there's this other torch. There are these torches right here. This had to be a half slab for whatever this is. What is this? This goes over there. I have no idea. No idea what that is. This powers what? What's happening? Oh my goodness. Oh, I don't understand. Man, the gravel. This is just the gravel cartridge, man. The gravel cartridge just committed so much cancer in total. Anyway, these repeaters are going to, deactivate when the slime block is no longer there, and they're going to change the signal strength of this, right? Oh wait, I remember how this works. This has to go around backwards down to there, so that this repeater turning off actually does change the signal strength, so that is the thing giving it the most power. That's why this has to be like this. And then this comparator network is going to make this signal travel over to here, and see all of these hoppers are powered, but the moment this is one less, this hopper, the redstone above it will unpower. And this actually has to be a hopper, because hoppers are the only block in the game that is transparent and is a tile entity and can hold redstone on top of it. I need all 3 of those things. So if hoppers didn't exist, this cartridge would be much different and much less efficient. The hoppers don't actually have anything in them and will never have anything in them unless you choose to put something in them. Either way, this sticky piston is going to retract, going to pull this block back, exposing this torch over this hopper. Man, that is awesome. And I used half slabs over here because I thought it was more efficient. I just put this torch here, like, hey, you can also use a torch, Big Chief. Oh, wait, no, that's not why. It's because, yeah, slime blocks. I had to not, otherwise these just would have been stuck if there was a half slab here. So there's a torch here, but there are half slabs here. That's a little bit more redstone efficient. and the sand is going to fall down, it's going to break, and it's going to be in entity form the whole time, so it's not going to cause any problems in the printing. So that's all how that works. I think that's pretty cool. I went over the auto reload method. Man, I think that is so awesome. And the gravel, look at this. So look at this. I had to put blocks on a couple of these to make this higher. Oh, the iron cartridge really got in the way. Also, this is the only cartridge, the iron cartridge? Yeah, the iron cartridge, I couldn't fit a piston here. I couldn't fit a piston here without getting activated by some stupid way. So you actually have to go here, break this, and place it back there to auto refill the iron cartridge. The iron cartridge is a very weird cartridge just because it is next to the gravel cartridge. And that just completely screws it all up. And I'm not sure if that's the same for the cartridge behind the red sand cartridge. Anyway, so this is offset and looks disgusting. What else? This mess. Yeah, getting this signal to this piston. Well, I guess I didn't address that. That's a little bit different. So, you know, the signal goes in here. It's going to reactivate that main piston. So the delay's the same over there, but now there's this sticky piston because there's this redstone over here that I can't touch. So that's going to activate this redstone torch at the perfect timing. That's the reason there's this repeater over here to make sure that everything is timed properly and it extends fully so it can activate the torch instead of just teleporting the block there. That's going to activate over there, and then this is just going to go up to here. And that's pretty much all of it, folks. Just one zero-tick generator. Very, very simple because sand's affected by gravity, which just makes this a whole lot easier. Just a side note, on the top of the cartridges, you could also put red sand or gravel instead of sand, which would be kind of obvious, but you can do that in case you didn't know. In case you weren't thinking about it. Once again, I'm pretending like anyone ever will build this in survival mode. So then we go over to here, and oh, I don't feel so good. I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark. Oh no. Oh, it's so bad. What does this even do? I don't even remember what this does. Oh yeah, it powers this. This is how I forgot how ratchet. This is easily the most ratchet cartridge here. You'd think it'd be the TNT cartridge, and there are some tumors. There are some redstone tumors growing on the TNT cartridge. But this sucker wins it all. This one really takes it home for the boys as the most ratchet, disgusting cartridge here. Unbelievable. So I can't use this redstone to go around there. I have to update it with this, and then I have to take this up around and activate this sticky piston and a redstone block. So that's just absolutely awesome. And it couldn't have been a normal block that was powered, I don't think. I think it had to be redstone. So then this sticky piston goes, and the rest is pretty fine. I remember spending like 3 days just on trying to fit all the gravel crap in here. Ooh, baby. There really might be some more hidden cancer in the gravel zone. This have to update? No, that's just for the iron cartridge. This is the most packed, barely fit. No, the TNT cartridge is worse. The TNT cartridge barely fits even harder. Speak of the devil, and that's the thing that we're about to talk about. So the red sand cartridge is obviously the same as those. Oh, baby. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's the moment you've all been waiting for. The cartridge that really convinced me that I had absolutely gone over my edge. And absolutely gone over the edge and lost my sanity. Why does the screen freeze like that every now and then? It's starting to really worry me that I'm not recording. Let me check real fast. Okay, don't you worry, child. I am in fact still recording. Whoa, frame rate. Okay. Get ready. Can you smell what the rock is cooking? So, as you can see, what? Oh, it's not. I was like, what? is happening here? But it turns out this lever was turned off. Oh my goodness. I thought some crap was going down, man. Ooh, baby. There's so much to cover here. Like the fact that the 20 hertz clock needs to be there, the reasoning for it. So let me just cover this from start to finish, like I do most cartridges. Wow, this one's kind of unbelievable, Big Chief. So you got your adapter. The adapter's looking pretty fine. That's gonna power the 0-tick pulse generator. This is gonna push up here. Wait, no, this is where it is. There it is. And first of all, oh, wait a minute. Now, what's this? What's this? What's this? Now, let me show you what that is. But first of all, so look at this situation. Look at this situation right here. You got a whole lot of redstone. You got TNT that will inevitably be powered by the redstone. Yet somehow, unbelievably, incredibly, somehow, you can empty this cartridge. How does this happen? How does this work? How is this possible? Well, you look at this, and honestly, you don't even really see a problem. You see an impossibility. But apparently, my past self looked... I remember this very clearly. My past self looked at this, and I had so lost at this point, I didn't even think it was very difficult. I was like, oh, comparators. Just easy, just... My past self looked at this, and he was like, oh, it's fine. I can just use comparators. I can just use comparators to change the power of the redstone every single time the piston moves forward and perfectly time it so that it's not too early and not too late and this thing doesn't blow itself to smithereens. And sure enough, that's what I diggity did. That is in fact what I did. So let's see where this goes. Goes through the repeater, goes over there, goes up here, weaves around a whole lot of bullcrap. And it powers this, first of all, which is going to power this repeater, which is how the clocking mechanism works. But it also goes up here, goes through there, goes through that repeater, and it's going to power this because it's going to have to turn off the signal, because otherwise the signal would be too long. So this is going to, the comparator is going to give this power, and this is going to shut off the power so fast that this is still not able to retract the block, but instead just teleporting this block forward after it pushes it just a little bit. Anyway, so that's incredible. My goodness. I'm gonna go over how that works and what, no, I'll just go over this right now. And this is the same system you've seen many times before. It's gonna go over there. This is gonna be a little bit less power. First of all, it's gonna go up here, and this is how the blocking mechanism works. The blocking mechanism has to be a little bit more strict now to make sure not to accidentally power any of the TNT. I still can't believe this cartridge works. I can't believe I was able to go all the way up this cartridge without powering a single block of TNT at any point in its journey. Able to go all the way to the printing matrix and just chill in the printing matrix. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I'm starting to get worried. It sounds like I'm tooting my own horn too much through this whole video, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it comes out. So then this is going to make this a little bit less powerful, which is in turn going to make this go out over to here. Because right now this is getting this is a 12 signal, making this a 3, just enough to power this sucker, and also enough to power over here. But then it will be a 4 signal, and then it's going to be able to go over there after the sucker has already moved. Oh man, it is truly the most beautiful thing ever. So, that's that. Now there's some other crap you see over here, which is very interesting. Let me go back here for a second though. Let me go back into analysis mode. Let me go back to analyzing this. But first, let me take another swig of my water. Oh my goodness. Okay. The swig of the water has been taken. I think I need a third glass for this flipping recording. I've just been talking the whole time. Every future video, I'm just gonna have like 4 glasses of water on the right side of my desk. Just 4 glasses. Oh, baby. So the adapter goes over to there, which is going to power this over here, which is going to power some redstone over here, which is going to go up over to here, and it's going to go into this, which will do nothing, but it'll also go over here, which is going to power this piston, which will update this, but it's also going to power this piston, which is going to push the TNT that way. But there are some more important matters at hand. Okay, this goes a couple more places. So it's going to go over to there, up there. But what is this? What is this? Well, see, when this sucker makes the signal, it's when this sucker goes off, it's also going to put some power over to here, which is going to go up here, and it's going to go up over there and just chill there doing nothing. What? What is this construction over here? It makes no sense to me. I don't know. We shall find out later. Actually, I think there's a little bit more. I think I'm getting a couple things confused, maybe. Alright, that's just going to come up over here and activate this piston. That's literally all this does right now. Later, it's going to get a little bit spicier, but right now, that's all it does. But then, so now, we're going to revisit this. You'll see. We're going to be led right back over there into that little disaster. But first of all, this is absolutely glorious. So these suckers are all powered by these levers over here, being rapidly updated by this 20 hertz clock when it's activated, of course, not activated right now. So they're being updated 20 times a second. Why is this for? Because when sand starts falling over here, when this sand starts falling down to there, this is immediately going to extend this block and stop this sand up here from falling so that no sand is broken. This right here has to be obsidian. It has to be obsidian, so this cannot currently push. This is waiting to push, but this is obsidian right here. It can't be a tile entity, otherwise this comparator would get signal out of it. But fun fact, and you might not have known this, comparators can actually take signals through solid blocks. So for example, through this comparator would be getting the signal of the cauldron, the full cauldron. It would be powering this repeater, and it would be, I'm using cauldrons in Redstone, man. You know it's getting crazy when you're using cauldrons in Redstone. Oh my goodness. My lord, it's going to go over to here, power this redstone, and you might think, why are these blocks up here? First of all, look at how crammed. Look at how crammed this is. Barely. It is going into the little divots. The pistons are pulling the blocks from the little divots in this area. Oh my goodness. This is the most. Just look at it. Just look at it. Oh my goodness. It's beautiful but terrifying at the same time. Right. So the reason this has to be up here is because when this sucker gets activated, this is going to be activated. So it has to pull this block down from here, otherwise it would push it up there, and then it can be activated. Definitely auto refilling the TNT cartridge is the hardest thing to do, because you gotta manually reset all these sticky pistons. Yeah, you gotta manually reset all these with the levers. You gotta manually pull all those levers over there. You have to go back here, move all these blocks up and down to where they're supposed to be at. Oh man. Oh, it's amazing. It's so glorious. So anyway, this just works how you'd expect. This redstone's going to go down here. Now it's going to activate that, go over to here, go through this, go down here. What is even happening? It's breaking my ankles. My ankles were just broken by that. Oh my goodness. That's how just this barely fit into this area. And then it's going to go down here and it's going to activate Seth Bling's Slime Block Drawbridge over there. Either way, let's go back up to here. It's also going to go another way. Where's this secret cool way it's going? It's going up here, going to the half slab so it doesn't activate TNT. Repeater over there. Wait, does this have to be on a half slab? Oh, this can be on an... Oh yeah, you can actually put this on a normal block if you want to. I guess it's much more aesthetically pleasing, though, that it's all half slabs. So either way, that signal is going to travel all the way up here, over to here, down here. Oh my goodness, what's happening? That's going to push over to there. This is unbelievable. Holy crap. Whoa, it's going to go around there. Oh my goodness, it's going all the way over here. I've never seen anything like this. And it's going to lock this. Keep this in mind. Remember, viewers, keep this one in your head, okay? Keep this one there for later. Because that's actually not going to happen for the vast majority of these. For the vast majority of these, they're just going to do the things that you know they be doing. That's going to happen, I believe, when it gets to this one. This one, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yup, that's the one. And what's it going to be locking, boys? Let's see. Let's see what this all is going to really do. Let's see what this crap really does. Wait a minute. Did I do this right? No, I know this empties. I know this cartridge empties, so I know I did this right. I am sure I did this all correctly. I tested this. I tested every cartridge in this printer extensively. Well, not one by one, but every type of cartridge. And I know that they're all working. And before that, when does this? Okay, I'm being a dum-dum again. When does this happen? Oh, it's hiding. It's hiding. It's hiding from me. Ooh. Alright, that's over here. So what's happening over there? Does it lock and then unlock? It locks there, right? Yeah, I know, it locks that repeater. Okay, I'm gonna see how this works later. I don't know, man. Let me stop recording, understand how this works, and then come back. Well, what I can tell you right now is what happens. Whoa. What is going on? What happens when this turns off? So this sucker turns off due to the piston moving system, which is going to unlock this repeater. So now this repeater is going off. It's going to put redstone, even though redstone goes up here normally, into this repeater. It's going to go into over there. It's going to activate these repeaters. What are these repeaters doing? Let me tell you, Chief. They're powering the piston. They're powering the sticky piston from this side the whole time. Through the slime blocks. Through the slime blocks. Through the fire and the flames. They're powering the sticky pistons. Because I couldn't power it from over on this side. So what's really going down here, Big Chief, is this has to lock this one after the slime block moves over here. That's why this was over here. It has to lock this one after the slime block moves to there, because otherwise it would be activating TNT, I think. Right? No. No, it wouldn't be. Does this have to be locked? I'm not sure. I'm gonna lock it anyway. I don't care. I don't care. It's fine. I'm not changing this printer. I am not fixing any problems. I'm literally like 99% sure it has to be locked for some reason. I just don't know why. Either way, it's much safer with it locked. And then this sucker, oh dear lord, I'm doing it again. This sucker is going to be activating that one. So what's going to happen over here? This is just the most galaxy brain thing ever. I'm so happy about this. I'm starting to get worried. It sounds like I'm tooting my own horn too much for this whole video. What this is going to do is extend this signal. This is already getting a 1-tick pulse, but now it's going to get a 2-tick pulse, and it's not going to go back down there because redstone cannot go down off of half slabs. So it just extends the pulse, which goes out over to there, and that is what makes it extend and push this TNT, because it extends and then retracts. Oh wait, I mean push this TNT. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's what makes it push this TNT. Oh, it's glorious. The TNT cartridge is easily the dankest cartridge in this whole printer. It is a dank meme I spent a month on. Oh, it's so perfect. It's so perfect. It is so perfect. Either way, what's going to happen when the big 3 go down, Chief? Oh, this repeater is going to go over there. It's going to activate this redstone over here. Oh, baby, can you smell what the rock is cooking? Oh, yeah, boy. It's going to deactivate that one. It's going to do that thing over there. It's also going to go over here, power this, which is going to go there and power that. This is going to go down to here, and it's going to turn off this. What does this do? I actually have no idea what this does. I literally have absolutely no clue what purpose this serves. It's just redstone over there. Oh! It unlocks that. Holy crap, I had to do so much to make this. Wow, I'm getting really proud of my past self. I'm impressed, past Liam. This crap is absurd. This crap is absurd. I'm starting to get worried. It sounds like I'm tooting. Okay. And then this one is going to get activated by that comparator that's activated by the cauldron through the obsidian block that has to be obsidian. Going to power that. Going to activate that. I'm going to go down here. Going to go through this one. I'm going to go down there. Down here. And it's going to permanently power this piston, making it so it can no longer push anymore. And then the final boyo. The final boyo. Oh, yes. I'm going to power this redstone over here. I'm going to power that. And that is the T flip-flop. And now, there it is, baby. That is the emergency stopping mechanism. And isn't it glorious? Wow. So that's the TNT cartridge, pretty much. There's a lot I had to change in the auto reload system and all the way up top. If you want to get more details, you can look into it yourself. All of these are half slabs. This kind of complicated everything. I had to make sure there wasn't any redstone touching. I had to do so many tiny little changes everywhere. Like stuff like this, I have to change crap like this all the time. I think there's stuff on this side. Are you telling me this doesn't boy, that be active? What? Does that not activate the TNT? Wait, give me a sec. This is pushing up. I know the auto reload works. How does this work? Because this should totally be powering that TNT. Why isn't it? Why isn't it powering that TNT? Okay, I wouldn't auto reload this if I were you. Just so I wouldn't. I just wouldn't. I guess it's because it's being pushed. That's true. It's being pushed. Wow. I cannot believe that works. That's pretty crazy. Really? Wow. Okay. That's pretty awesome. Okay, either way. That's pretty much the auto reload system in a nutshell. I think I had to change a couple things over here. That still goes over to there. He's gonna go out up and over to here. Pretty basic stuff. Just very classic auto reload. And go over to there. Yep. And that's the auto reload system is honestly pretty dang normal there. I cannot believe that I perfectly timed that so it would only activate while the TNT was moving. That's really, really, really crazy to me. And I honestly don't really believe it works, even though I witnessed it work. Maybe it's like an update thing. Maybe the TNT fails to update. I guess that's what's happening. Blows my mind that that worked. Okay, well, those are all the cartridges. Now, on to the timings. Oh, why is there more of this video I have to make? There are so many things. Okay. But I feel obliged to explain everything to the people that actually watch all the way through here. Obviously, I can just turn to creative mode now, so whoa. Not fame mode, game mode 1. Okay, well I also really super ultra mega have to go to the bathroom because of all the water I drank. And I also have to get more water. Oh my gosh, I am literally shaking in my chair. I have to pee so bad. So I'm gonna take a piece and then I'm gonna come back. Whoa, I gotta pee real bad. I'm gonna wet myself right here. I've been so unprepared for this. Also gotta get more water and come back. So yeah, oh boy. Okay, whoa, I'm back. But I just realized something. So I'm gonna go over here while I talk. But I just realized something. So this is my first video. So technically, I should probably say, like, I'm a kid-friendly Minecraft. Like, I might as well put this out there. I know most Minecraft channels are kid-friendly, and I'm a child, so like you'd expect me to not say the swear word. But just so you know, I will not say the swear word because the swear word is bad. Which swear word specifically? The S word. But I'm still going to say I'm kidding. You know I'm kidding. Alright, so long story short, I'm gonna be a kid-friendly channel because, you know, I actually don't care about swears. I don't think they're like bad intrinsically. I'm like, brother, it's just a word. You know, what if they defined a spoon as a swear word? Would you stop saying spoon? But you know, I'm going to not say them because I want everyone to be able to watch my videos. Like, I don't want to bar any audience, like the audience of the children with the strict parents, from watching my videos. Well, I should be talking about what's happening. So yeah, I'm gonna not swear at all because, you know, that's gonna be what I want to do. And I think it's gonna make my channel better because, you know, more people will be able to see it. Might as well put that out there for anyone watching. So as you can see, these are you should probably recognize these immediately. These are instant redstone lines. This is pretty much, you know, when one of these suckers updates, this literally all happens immediately. They all go off, all of them. It's not the most efficient redstone line, but it's staggerable, so I think it's the most efficient for this circumstance. I'm pretty sure I went over this. I'm pretty sure I went back here and I looked into whether it would be more efficient to use the redstone line that would normally be more efficient. But I don't think it actually would be. I think this is, in fact, the superior instant redstone line. Actually, give me a sec. I'm sorry. I gotta go back over here real fast to showcase something pretty cool. Okay, we are here. So this is an invention of my own design. I call it the instant block up. Yeah, I'm gonna call it an instant bud. It takes this little update over here. So this is what's gonna happen. This sticky piston is gonna start pushing. This is going to deactivate this sticky piston. It's going to start retracting, which is going to activate this redstone right here, which is going to update this piston, which is going to teleport this block over here. And that is how the instantaneous part happens. Can't you see? Do you not understand? And then this is going to push it back, and then something's going to happen. This is going to push back over to here, and then that's going to power that, but only in a way. Like, this redstone is only going to update and then power this block after this has updated this piston, and this piston has thought, okay, so I don't have to push. And then what that's going to do is it's going to send a signal over to here for this boy to shove this one up one, and everything's just going to be perfect and dandy. So let's flip and go. Heck yes. And this all works on the 5 clock. Even this, I believe, I'm pretty sure all of this crap works on the 5 clock. Because, you know, if it didn't, I wouldn't have put it here. Yeah, this crap works on 5 clock. Yeah, it does. I tested this. It works on 5 clock. So it's gonna be all gonna be great and perfect and beautiful. And then you got this over here, which is repeaters. Some of this has to be repeaters because now I had to start, you know, delaying it. So I'm not going to go over the delays. It's just everything had to be delayed by the right amount every single time. I think it was 17.5, right? 17.5, was that the amount had to be delayed? I think it was something like that, but staggering had to change the delay, and the delay on the other side is different. This took multiple months. This took multiple months to do. It didn't take nearly as long as the delays on the 2D printer, thank goodness. Well, it actually probably took close to that amount of time, but luckily this wasn't nearly as bad. Let me get to the main area so I can really get into the meat and potatoes of this. Ba-ba-ba-da, we're here. I loaded about as much as this I loaded about as much of this as I could before my Minecraft just couldn't handle loading anymore. And what I love about it is it kind of looks like a big fun eagle, you know? It looks like a big eagle, even though the wings are super weird and has this like super long ear or something. I don't know, man. I guess it's kind of weird and it doesn't look super much like an eagle, but it looks a bit like an eagle, so I don't know. I think I'm gonna make that comparison. This was fun. I had to do this little repeater stunt over here to try and make sure everything was on the proper timing. As you can see, I had to do a 5 delay over there, so it would all turn off and on again at the proper times. We travel this way. So this is pretty simple. This is all in world spawn, so you'll only have to replace all 331 of these hoppers every time the server restarts, or every time you leave the world, if this is in single player, which it is, instead of just every time you leave the chunks or go back, because they're in world spawn, and world spawn is the only chunkage that is permanently loaded. And the chest stuff again. Yep, pretty cool. Pretty cool. This chest is going to be filled over there. This is here so that items don't get caught in these hoppers. This is just going to get... So any items you put in, you will always get out. And there's actually one of every item in each hopper. Because this actually happens a little bit earlier. This turns off before this goes into there. Yeah, that turns off before that goes into there. So this acacia fence has to leave, and then the next one has to go in. So that's why I had to do it like that. Either way, though, you're going to be able to just get all the stuff you want out of that chest. That's pretty much this whole area, and then here are all the delays. This was absolute cancer to make, but it works, and it's perfect, so that's pretty cool. Oh, this is so sad. So this was maybe the low light of the entire 3D print. Let me tell you what happened. First of all, do you know if you unload and reload hoppers, they can just kind of dupe items sometimes? It just sorta happens. I mean, because if there are hoppers here, and the stuff's going down the hoppers over to there, the items will duplicate sometimes. So all the hoppers had to be within always loaded chunks. That's the bigger reason this is in world spawn. That world spawn is over here. I have to use the set world spawn command to move it over here. This is all still survival friendly because you could just build this with that part, you know, making sure it's in world spawn. This isn't cheating in any way. It's kind of like just moving the whole printer, really. Where, in a way, so that this part could be in world spawn. Either way, this cancer, this was awful. So, let me tell you the story of how... So there's a YouTuber that I'm going to have to introduce to you that I am holding a personal grudge against. Okay, you know what, let me get back to main base first. Okay, now I'm back at the main area of this printer. So, there's a YouTuber, I think his username is like test27E138 or something like that. If I remember right, I'm a genius, but his name is something like that. I'm just gonna call him Test E for short, because I know the letter E is somewhere in there. I'm sure of that one. So Test E made this instant dropper line. This one right here. This instant dropper line is the one that Testy made. But how this dropper line came to be here is a very, very sad story of hubris and just failure on my part. So I looked up instant dropper line, I went to the interwebs, scrolled around, and all I could find on it was Testy's video. Testy had the only video of an instant dropper line really in Minecraft. I think some people copied him, but they just used his design. Testy could be considered the first technical... Oh my goodness. The first technical Minecrafter, I guess. I'm pretty sure he discovered Ender Pearl holding chambers. That's what I think he's most famous though for his instant dropper line, because that's the one literally used to this day in the versions past one, even in the 1. Whatever the hell it is. Currently it's 1.16, but they just released the Caves and Cancer update or whatever. So yeah, we were chilling and we're still using Testy's dropper system. I didn't know that. I didn't get the memo. I didn't understand that his still worked. Because I looked at his and I didn't understand it. And because I didn't understand it, I was like, this must not work. Because I was like, how does this dropper ever get powered? This must be some glitch. Little did moron Liam know. It got powered like that. Oh my goodness, Liam, you idiot. I cost myself like 2 weeks. I went and designed my own instant dropper line. It was 13 redstone per instant dropper area, less efficient than Testy's version. His version was much better than mine. And then I put mine here, and then I learned that Testy's version worked, and I was like, you know what, I don't care. I'm just being lazy. I'm gonna keep this one here. I was very sad, very depressed that his still worked. But then it turned out my version wouldn't even work. My printer wouldn't even let me be lazy. My printer wouldn't even let me be lazy. Because my version of the instant dropper line couldn't handle a 5-tick clock. And I tested a 5-tick on Testy's, and it sure as hell worked. So I had to go destroy my whole instant dropper line and /clone replace it, the whole thing with Testy's instant dropper line. And it was, it made me want to die. I'm mad at you, Testy. I'm so mad at Testy for being smarter than me. Oh, it was awful. Awful experience. But yeah, I had to replace it with his. It took so long. I had to go understand how his worked, understand how to build it correctly, understand why this crap was over here. I learned that this sends updates like this. So it goes up and then it updates all the droppers, and that's how it works like that. It really is a genius design. Man, it sucked. Hello, I am back tomorrow. It is the next day. It was just becoming, whoa, too late. Okay, so, this area. Let me tell you what happened over here. So, I had this, and what this should do is it has this nice instant redstone line up here, so it should load every single chunk all the way over to there within 1/20th of a second, absolutely instantly, because this is an instant redstone line. And then it should just work like normal, no matter what the chunk loading unloading cycle is on. However, it didn't. It just didn't get all the way there. I had no idea why it was happening, because instant lines are supposed to load just infinite chunks. And then, out of sheer desperation, this should have changed nothing, I threw this instant redstone line on top. And sadly, every single chunk unload cycle, this line wasn't making it all the way there. It just didn't make it all the way there. It tried very hard, it got very far, but this redstone line, the instant line, could not make it all the way there. However, I looked more closely and I found out even though this instant line wasn't working, now, because the instant line was here, this was working. I have no idea how this works. This should not work in any way, shape, or form. The thing that's supposed to load the chunks fails to load the chunks, and then the thing that isn't loading the chunks, although it should load the chunks, goes and just works for some reason. This thing somehow loaded the chunks without actually going off. I don't know, man. I honestly don't know how this works. Like, actually, every other part of this 3D printer, I have a pretty solid idea of how it works. But just like I don't know why some of the timings have to be purposely mathematically wrong in the 2D printer, I do not know just how this works. It just doesn't make sense to me. So how I did this is pretty simple. You can see the redstone over here. I pretty much made this happen 1/10 of a second before all this crap's gonna happen. So this means technically the heart clock of this 3D printer, which is up and over here. Uh-oh. That's broken. Okay. I'm gonna have to make sure that's not broken in the world download. Do I make sure the other one isn't broken? Nah, the other one's gonna cause a bunch of lag anyway, and it's not the main attraction anyway. But this broke, probably because of all the problems I had to fix in 3D printer after I made the original world download world. But what this has an issue, which is, if this is perfectly incorrectly synced from the world clock, there's a 1 in 5 chance that this clock, how it works, just completely stops this from working. It's possible that this instant line goes off, all these chunks unload, and then this tries to go off, and then it's just not going to work. So this thing is going to sync up with the world clock. The world clock is divisible by a 5-tick clock or a 10-game tick clock. But if it's synced incorrectly, it's just not going to work every single time. Anyway, let's go over to here now. Okay, first of all, I just remembered this. So the thing underneath this is a normal piston. Wait, no. I'm sorry. My goodness. This is a normal piston. So every time you activate this printer, you're going to have to take this iron block, break it from here, and place it back down there. Just so you know, just another part of the auto refill method, just, you know, resetting this 3D printer to how it was before it started. But now, let me go over this area. So I guess I kind of want to go over the area of what goes into here and how this works. You know, before I go over this area, I want to tell you a funny story. A couple months ago, I saw a thunderstorm happen in the world, and it really shocked me. And I didn't really know why it shocked me. So I kind of spent 1 minute thinking about the thunderstorm, thinking about why I was so surprised by it. And then I realized I did /weather clear for the maximum amount of time possible, which is 1,000,000 seconds. I had been playing in this world so long, and that doesn't include all the backups, of course. That only would have been 11 and a half straight days of playing, and I've definitely been in this world much, much longer, so the backups are the reason for that one. Give me a sec. Ooh, loading thing. Oh, I'm about to feel the pain. This world specifically, what minutes played? 17.43 days. There's no way this is like decillion or something. That is 17.43 days. And, you know, remember, currently time is running at 1/50th of the speed. Okay. Either way. So, this area, well, first, how you get into here, because, so this has to be here to update this dropper, because it's quasi-powered, or maybe I should say bud-powered, that sounds better, even though I don't think it's the correct term. So that's why this has to be over there, and then this hopper's going to put that there from the chest. That's pretty simple. And the question is, what's going to go on over here? Oh, of course, this redstone is going to be activating and deactivating this hopper at the perfect time. So the real question is the stuff down here. How does the stuff down here work? Also, look at this fancy redstone for this hopper. You got some over here, you got some over there, some over here, with that repeater over there. Like, oh my goodness. That is getting real fancy on them. Either way, this comparator is taking this signal through this block, this thing's signal through this block. So when an item appears in there, that is going to power that block, which is going to power this little bit of redstone, but not to the point where it's going to power anything. But then that is going to cause this piston to extend, which is then going to cause this redstone to go over here and activate all this, which is going to cause this piston to push this block back here. But more importantly, it's going to cause this comparator to turn off, as well as both of these droppers to push the block up and then push the block over into here and then into that chest. And this is all perfectly timed. Trust me, this is much more complex than it looks. I just had to do so much timing that you didn't see. This whole area was probably 2 months, and it's very, very simple. It's just the timings. So much precise timing. Just ended up taking so much time over here. Okay, anyway. So, I wonder if this video is going to make me like the poster boy for like a screen time limit advertisement. Don't let your kids play too much video games or they're going to waste 3 years on a 3D printer. Anyway, this is going to go into here, trigger that. This is a bunch of super complex redstone, really fancy. It goes around here under the lever, which is powering this repeater, all so that this can push this block out of the way to activate this. I'm pretty sure this is to get a game tick delay. I don't really remember though. This is just more really precise timing crap. This redstone is going to sneak right above there, over to here, and power both the instant line and the instant dropper line. And then this is actually much more simple than it looks. You're going to be surprised how simple this is, really. So first of all, of course, you have all the blocks, every single block that is printable in the game over here. This actually is the perfect amount. This is not one more or one less cobblestone than you need to fill up this entire area perfectly. 12 times 12 times 12 is in fact, well, okay, give her a second. Okay, is in fact this number, because, you know, the prime factorization, you're gonna get mathematical here. Ooh, cool, don't you like math? I'm kidding, you probably hate it, but I really like math. I think it's pretty great. The prime factorization of 12 is 3 and 4, so you need 3 3s and 4 4s. Here's 1 3, and then 2 more 3s, because it's 9 over here. It's 9 times 3, so those are all 3 3s, and then you just need 3 4. 4 times 4 times 4 is 64, and that is why this is exactly equal to this. So isn't that pretty cool? Man, what an awesome way that turned out. And then of course you have a ton chests. You need to have so many chests, just a crap ton of all these chests all up and down here. And then you need these, a couple double chests are missing that you'd think would be there, but this is the perfect amount needed. The perfect amount of chests. Oh boy. And then I got a ton of item frames, just because I think that makes it a bit more user friendly. You see what right there, and you know what you're getting. You're getting coarse dirt if you're gonna look into this chest. And then after it's printed, you just go down this little stairway, and then just play with whatever your creation is. And it could be just a ton of TNT. That's actually possible. Who knew? You know, they thought we'd have flying cars in 2020, but at least we have 3D printer. Oh man. Anyway, this is pretty much just what you saw over there, except 12 of them stacked on top of each other. It's really almost all it is. It's pretty much just 12 of them stacked on top of each other. This is the printing lever, but you have to flip this only when this torch is off. And before you do that, you actually, first of all, you have to do this. And then you have to flip... You have to flip this? Yeah, you have to flip this as well. And you have to flip it while it's on. Yeah, you have to flip that while those repeaters right there are turned on. That's when you're going to have to flip that off. And then you have to flip the lever over here, where over there, I'm pretty sure you just have to flip the printing lever. This is a little bit more complex, but it's to save a ton of lag, which doesn't really matter because the game is lagging super hard anyway, just because of all the chunks over here. And then let's go up to the heart clock, which I both just fixed in the world download and also fixed over here. Please tell me you're fixed. Brother, give me a sign of life. You should be 1.5 redstone ticks of being turned off. 3 game ticks. Brother, please. Yeah, so remember, this is all a 20th of a second that I'm waiting for. Man, as they say, you can't have your printer and run it too. Oh my goodness. Okay, now it's becoming jump cut time. Boy, just go. It's okay. Yep, there we go. So it's 1.5 signal of off, not of on. It's I guess that would make it a 3.5 on signal. So anyway, this signal is going to be propagated over there, but that's not the important part. The cool part is it's also going to go down into this repeater, which is going to activate both this repeater, but also, whoa, is going to activate, oh my goodness, oh, it's a maze. Oh no, my goodness. Okay, this repeater is going to go into there and also activate this repeater, but that's going to activate this repeater and then this repeater, and this signal is just going to propagate all the way down. Absolutely beautiful. All the way down to there, and the delay has to be exactly 2 repeaters going down for each one of them. Every single delay in this whole printer has to be exactly what it is, otherwise the whole thing's just not going to work. That's why this took 3 years. Okay. Anyway. Oh my goodness. So that's almost all of it. The only remaining piece of the puzzle is you got this area. This comparator, which senses when this is all empty, is just going to be perfectly delayed and then allow this area up here to start going off. And then of course this clock down here has to propagate perfectly up here. It uses redstone torches for the delay over there. Yep, just 2 fully drawn back repeaters every single time is going to be the perfect delay. And that's just going to go straight to the top. And now so the delay changes slightly every time. The delay, pretty much, the items coming from this layer won't be delayed as much as the items coming from this layer. All of this is going to be slightly different, but it's all still going to be in the correct window, except when you get to the final 4. The final 4 layers are actually just outside of the window, so you have to have these super complicated areas where the redstone goes over to here, goes through this zero-tick pulse generator, unstable zero-tick pulse generator. If you put a piston here, it would actually never be activated. That's why it's called an unstable zero-tick pulse generator. That's why the zero-tick pulse generator over somewhere over here, that's why this zero-tick pulse generator has to use a comparator and a repeater, so that it is stable and so that pistons will accept the signal. Anyway, that's going to go through here, and then it's going to go through this perfect delay system right here, as well as this hopper is going to be delayed. This is really just absolutely insane. Just more world download stuff. If you really care about this, get the world download. But it's just a really, really precise delay where I had to get every single hopper and chest to work together perfectly. And these aren't chests for redstone efficiency anymore. Now they're chests, actually, because they have to not be putting items into here. The items have to only be pulled. So that's how all that works, and that's why this absolute monstrosity has to be here. That's why there has to be this big old redstone tumor on the side of this beautiful obsidian boy's face. But then all that is going to go perfectly down here. It's all going to go through this hopper at the same timing, like a perfect marching army. Boom, 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 boom. I extensively tested this. I know it works perfectly. Go through the instant dropper line, literally teleport all the way over to there. If you don't know what an instant dropper line does, it pretty much makes this hopper shoot into this hopper, into this hopper, into this hopper, blah, blah. So within 1/20th of a second, the item goes from here all the way down to there. And then it's going to be perfectly delayed through all this. It's going to come up over every single cartridge, even the TNT cartridge. It all works perfectly, all works correctly. And then it's going to go through the V engine, and then it's going to all pop out here at the proper timing, and then go into here. And as long as you have a supercomputer, it's going to be perfect. Asterisk if you have 100 accounts or do it in 1.13. So you pretty much just have to run this in 1.13 with the /force load command. So that's really too bad. But either way, I think it's pretty cool. Please, someone out there with no content, just do like a stream, if you have a supercomputer, of just printing out a bunch of cool stuff in here in 1.13, that'd be pretty awesome because I don't have a supercomputer and I cannot do that. Once again, I would just have to time-lapse 8 hours worth, and my computer just does not have the capabilities. You're going to go into the minecart, go over there after pulling this lever, of course, go back after all the silverfish were out, pull this lever, and see your perfect structure. Oh, baby. And that is the 3D printer. That is this whole 3D printer in a nutshell. Wow. Hey, I'm recording this after the rest of the video, but I feel the need to edit it in right here just because I feel like this was kind of important to go over. The original inspiration for this 3D printer was just giving a player full and utter control over a 12 by 12 area, a 12 by 12 by 12 area in survival mode. I just thought it would be so absolutely magical to be able to just put all this stuff in a chest and just have it magically come out here. And I think somewhat I accomplished what I wanted to. I mean, as long as you play in 1.13 and have a supercomputer, you can technically experience this feeling. I mean, you're never going to be able to actually build this in survival mode. But at least you're able to get the same feeling, you know? Oh, one more thing. The first person, it's going to be a really big challenge, almost impossible. But the first person to actually build this whole thing in survival mode will get a free trip to the mental institution. Hey, we're back. Okay, so I just got a great idea. I turned my render distance down to 10, so now I'm able to do this without loading the 3D printer. And it's still gonna lag super hard just because of the way I built this. It was really inefficient. I built this so that they would all run on a clock, and in the 3D printer, it's built so that the cartridge will only have redstone going up it when it's actually printing, because you saw how it worked. The hole is just filled all the way up, not constantly attempting to be filled all the way up, even if it's not actually printing. And then hopefully I can also show off this printer's auto reload method. And hopefully I can remember how it works a little bit better. But anyway, so I have some beautiful art in here that I'm going to print. As you can see, it's just a nice, beautiful blue skies with some treeage in there. Okay, I don't know how you got there. That's a little weird. Is there a problem here? What's going on, Chief? Okay, I guess there's just kind of a lime wool that got there. Wow. I feel like I have failed everyone. That is so unprofessional. I have no... Either way, it doesn't matter because we're gonna print. So you just kind of hit the lever. I mean, right? This should work. I really hope this doesn't not work. I'm gonna hit the lever and pray. Oh boy. So you're gonna see this chest emptying out. And 1. And 2. Okay, this also runs pretty slowly. Not gonna lie. And 4. I'm filled with so much dread again. And 6. And now no more will be coming out of there. And now some's gonna be coming out of here. Now let's move over here. Because I need to look away. I do not have enough faith in my printer. It's gonna be moving down these hoppers. Please work, brother. It's really possible this thing could just not work. There are 5 world's records in this video, and the 5th is for the finickiest redstone inventions that have ever been created, which are printers. These things just do not... You can tell I'm nervous by my nervous clicking. Oh, baby. Oh, it's gonna go through the other hopper. Oh, yeah. I don't know, maybe I should be time-lapsing this. Oh, whatever, screw it. This video is already way too long. Oh, my goodness. I didn't replace the hoppers. As you can see, I have restored the world file because I was not going to fix that nightmare. And now, because you see the thing is no longer printed, and it is now back in the chest. I always make backups of printers now. I have learned my lesson many painful times. Okay, either way, the clock is... How did it break? It didn't even unload. I checked, boy! Okay, the clock should be fixed now, so let me fix this now, because I did actually forget to do this. Okay, we're ready! Please print now, brother! Oh crap, the lime wool! Oh my goodness! Oh, it's come back to haunt me. Why do I do that? I could just put it into there. I don't know, man. It's finally gonna do it. Oh yeah. It's going. I cannot make this exciting. Oh, here it is, here it is, here it is, here we go. Oh, it is just mesmerizing to see it. Oh, it's beautiful. Well, it's beautiful if it works. Oh, please work. If this doesn't work, I'm gonna have no idea what's going on. Just like every time either of these doesn't work. Oh, barely weaving around that piston. Taking it home. Can he go in for the whole touchdown? Oh yeah, so the clock of this one, instead of a 3.5, this is a 5 on, 1 off clock, just so you know. I just realized what's happening, and this should be with that. This bit should be also with this bit, so I don't know how I feel about that one. Oh, baby. Okay. I guess I'm gonna have to time-lapse a solid amount of this. You ever play that game Snake? Okay, oh, it pushed up one. Oh, and you see it pushes down. It's gonna push up another, and then as now you can see it actually happening, and then that's gonna push that there, and then that's gonna travel all the way up. I don't know if I should be showing the sand falling. Okay. And you know what now? I'm just gonna time lapse it. Well, first I'm gonna get one more look at just all the redstone. Oh, well, I guess this is pretty much the only area doing anything right now, but also the white wool. Where's the white wool? The white wool, there are clouds that are being printed, so that stuff's also going on over there. You know, I'm making an executive decision. I'm gonna show you the sand. Wow, this is beautiful. And there it is. You can see now how it works, so that this piston always has something to push on. Well, this is gonna do that a little bit, just because of the client side, server side disconnect on how fast the world is going. You can see the redstone going all the way up. The orange. No, not the orange. No, not orange. No. Oh, right. They're all. Oh. All right, well, as you can see, then the same thing happens over here, and the cycle continues. The circle of life continues. Nature is a beautiful thing. As you can see, the clouds are being printed out. It's all being printed. It's all working incredibly. Oh, I so wish I could show off the 3D printer in this video. It's like this, but way cooler. And the 3D printer, actually, I calculated, it should take only 5 minutes to print. It should only take 5 minutes to print. But because of the extra lag caused by the V engine, it actually lags the game way more than the game is normally lagged, even with all the chunks loading and unloading, and it takes just way too long. You can see it from this angle. You can also view it from this angle if you want. That's why I put that over there. But now I think I'm just going to time-lapse it.
3 years later.
You know, thinking of it a little bit more, maybe you could do this in survival. I really feel like you could build this one in survival mode, if I'm being honest.
Investigators in East Midlands and Dubai find the explosive inside the printer cartridges.
It was clear that this was a sophisticated device. It was a device we hadn't seen in this sort of form previously.
My entire life has led up to this. A 4-hour video on a printer in Minecraft.
That's not art. That's just annoying.
Yeah, I'm really starting to regret using a different color for the trees than I used for the ground.
The Fitness Gram Pacer test is a multi-stage aerobic capacity test that progressively gets more difficult as it continues. The 20-meter pacer test will begin in 30 seconds. Line up.
If it looks like it's printing incorrectly, you're wrong. That's just me being a very bad artist. I think it's pretty funny that I absolutely cannot believe this is working, even though I have tested it so much where I know it works 100%. I cannot believe things aren't going wrong. Just because of so many times where I thought, and then it did not.
Vincent van Gogh was going to become an artist.
This is kind of an art piece off of Vincent van Gogh's Starry Night called Uninspired Day. You know what? I have no idea if Vincent van Gogh is the one who painted that, and I really might sound like a moron now. Yo, let's go! Let's go! It actually worked! It actually printed. I cannot believe that it... And then you're supposed to turn this off. I cannot believe that it actually printed. Oh, by the way, when you fill these, you have to fill these two first, otherwise, you know, the comparators aren't going to be... Well, actually, no, these have this redstone over there to help them. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh. Oh, that's one for the scrapbook right there. Wow. At least you can download the world, turn your render distance down to 10, and use this one. And if you accidentally load the 3D printer and then go back here, just disconnect and reconnect, and then it'll unload. Because disconnecting force unloads every single chunk no matter what. Just like stopping a server. Even world spawn. Oh my goodness. I cannot believe it. I'm so surprised it worked. Oh man. Well, that's pretty much the end of the video. Except oh wait, crap. No. The auto reload. Oh, yo, I get to show off the auto reload. Oh wait, what do I do? Oh right, you walk up here. No, you go. The player would climb up this ladder, and then please, and then use this lever. Okay, and then this lever is gonna do something there. Yeah, it's gonna stop that clock from doing that stuff, and then it's gonna make this clock happen, and it's gonna do auto reload stuff. Oh my goodness. Okay, so see what this is doing is this is gonna go, okay, and that's gonna go there. Okay, right, and then it has redstone that goes all this area, and then you have to step on the thing, and that's what, oh, this is so cool. Okay, you're gonna You're gonna love this. Oh, baby. Okay. So I'm gonna middle click to get this light wool, the wool block. And I'm just gonna hold. Yeah, so I right click this to get up in there. This door is here for some reason. Why is that door there? Okay, I don't know. But you step on this pressure plate and then you wait a little bit. You gotta wait a little bit. But then it's about to be time. Let's go. Oh, wait, crap. Oh, no. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay. And then that happens. So let me show you. So sometimes, maybe spamming right-click is a better idea. Because sometimes, I forgot about this. Sometimes if you hold right-click, and it doesn't sync up with the piston pushing, and it just sinks in the wrong way, much like the heart clock of that printer over there. Yeah, it can just absolutely murder a bunch of the sand. A bunch of this sand has just been absolutely murked. So let me try. Let me try this again. Oh, baby. First, so I guess spam right click if you want to be safe. What? Wait, what's happening now? Wait, what's the problem? Wait, give me a sec. Oh, is it just how much the game's lagging? Oh, that sucks. Oh, it probably is that. Oh, that's too bad. Okay, so the game's lagging too much right now because my computer's too slow. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so then you probably just can hold right-click here under normal. Oh, I'm a more. That's why the door is there. Oh, oh, oh. Every time I remember something about this printer, it's oh crap. Every time I remember something about this printer. Oh, so look at this. So you know how the door shuts behind you? So you hold backwards. And you do hold right-click on this block. So there's this glitch. I call it the negative X glitch because it happens much more in this direction. It can happen in every direction, but it happens much more when I'm looking in the negative X direction. I can just, if I right-click here, the block will think that I'm in it. It'll think I'm trying to place it inside of me, and it's just not going to place because it's miscalculating where my hitbox is because the client sends packets to the server and they get rounded. Even though you're on the same computer, Minecraft always has a client side and a server side. So what you're supposed to do is open this, step on the pressure plate, look a little bit to the right, hold backwards. Oh my goodness, that's awesome. Just hold backwards and then hold right click. Oh, that's so awesome. That's so awesome. And hey, look at that! Auto reload. I mean refill. Auto refill. Isn't it beautiful? Isn't it beautiful? Man, I'm so happy. I found out why the doors are there! I can't believe I discovered why the doors are here. That's why the doors are there. Man. This is what it must feel like to have dementia. And then you remember something and you're like, oh my gosh. That's the reason. And perfect. Except for the fact that... Oh, also, so apparently, I'm sorry, I messed up. So apparently you actually also have to put iron blocks up here so it doesn't go, so it doesn't push it one too far. So you also have to put blocks up here. So just pretend there are a bunch of iron... I guess I'll change the world download again. Oh my goodness. Oh, I had to change it so many times. Well, Whatever, I'll change the world download again. I'm not changing this printer. I am not fixing any problems. That's absolutely awesome. Auto refill. Okay. Now that is the end of the video. Except for our surprise guest appearance by the current most popular Minecraft Redstone YouTuber ever currently, with over 6 million subscribers. Last time I checked. I don't know. Maybe he has more this time. Mumbo Jumbo. Ooh. Big round of applause. Can everyone give him a big round of applause? Now, the reason he's making this guest appearance is Mumbo Jumbo has something very controversial to say about my 3D printer over here. He has something very controversial to say. So let's see what he has to say.
Throughout the entire time of working on Redstone, I have always wanted to build a working Minecraft printer, a system in which you place a bunch of items on the inside of a chest, and then Minecraft takes those items and prints them out in blocks. I always thought this would be impossible. But thanks to the latest snapshot, it is now completely doable.
I'm sorry, Mumbo. Can you just repeat that again real fast? Can you just like repeat that one more time? I don't know if I really understood correctly what you said there.
I always thought this would be impossible.
Oh yeah, baby! I proved him wrong. Dominance has been asserted. Okay, so long story short, I came across I had started building this printer a long time before, but I came across a Mumbo Jumbo video, and any printer related video on YouTube, I clicked it all while quite terrified on the inside that someone else had found the way to make the first 3D printer. The Mango video where he made a 3D printer really terrified me because it did say 3D printer, but then it was using the same gravity affected normie trash that every other printer making YouTuber was using, instead of actually just normal blocks that weren't affected by gravity. So I was like, okay, that's fine. That didn't really ruin anything. It was pretty cool video. But yeah, I came across this video of Mumbo where he pretty much implied that it was impossible to make a printer, and any sort of printer actually, not just 3D, in Minecraft 1.8. So even my 2D printer proves him wrong on that one. So I think that's funny. I don't actually think it's as, like, you know, I'm pretending it's much bigger deal than it is. I'm kidding. This does, of course, mathematically make me the objectively best Minecraft Redstone YouTuber now, though, just so you know, that is in fact how the math works out. So you will have to accept that as a scientific fact. This is the perfect music for the send-off. Either way, I'm pretty sure this video is over. I kind of wish it lasted longer, even though it's way too long, just because I feel like I have so much more stuff to show you, so much more that I must have missed, must have gone past. But that's what the world download's for. Also, my map Skyblock Ultima. If you want to see more of my content, even though it doesn't exist yet, you can just play Skyblock Ultima and know that that's kind of, you know, it's at least me that is causing the suffering you feel when you play that map. Either way, this has been my video. This has been the first ever vanilla survival friendly 3D printer for Minecraft 1.8. What's, in my opinion, the most impressive Minecraft Redstone invention ever, but I'm a biased source. I'm going to hopefully be making other videos soon. I'm not going to be one of those YouTubers who posts once a year. But goodbye, I guess.